basically, I'm sure everybody here can use Power BI now. You know how to extract your data. You know how to clean your data, right? We know how to extract, we know how to clean data. Everybody. Is that true? Yes, Tony.
No, I was answering a question. I said yes, we do.
Okay, yes, okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, if you can use Power BI, then if you are using any other visualization tool, it's almost similar. Almost similar. I think it's only Tableau that is the next one that is close to it. But in terms of visualization, so in terms of customization, I think Tableau can do more than Power BI. Okay. Then you also have, but like MicroStrategy, that one is more technical. That one is not user friendly at all. So you can, I think we'll still try and do Tableau. So, but the challenge with Tableau is just a trial version. So I think that one is 14 days or so. So if you don't work with it within 14 days, just forget about it. But I don't know, we may try Tableau just to see how it works.
Okay, Francis.
Yeah.
For Tableau, I think you have student version that will take you for 1 year. All you just need to do is to provide your evidence of payment.
Yes.
ID card / evidence of payment and evidence showing that you're in school. You are still in school during that period, right?
Okay, you guys has I don't think I have my own. One has expired a long time.
Well, Dr. Francis, is there a big difference between Tableau and Power BI?
Is there a difference? So in terms of, so yes, there is a difference. So you see the way you already have your your visuals already, okay? And we also have custom visuals in Power BI, which is in the market. There's what they call a marketplace. So people have already designed it already. You only just to import it and use it. Okay. Now with Tableau, you can easily customize your own visual. Because sometimes the problem you are trying to visualize, it may not be straightforward to see that insight, okay? But with Tableau, you can easily customize it and break it down in such a way that every information you need can be shown on that visual. So Tableau gives you that room for customization. But with Power BI, they have already done it for you. You only just look for which one suits what you need, then import it and use. Do you get? So those people who are into core data visualizations, that's why they prefer Tableau. Okay. Then also in the analytics, in terms of I think both of them, you can also integrate Python and R. So even if you don't have your visuals there, you can also import the Python visuals and R visuals in both Tableau and Power BI. But there's another one called Spotfire. Even Spotfire, that one is even, the visual of that is even better than Power BI and Tableau, because it looks more elegant in terms of its presentation. But in terms of deep analytics, it's not so much. We also have another one, ClickView. That's also under, or they call it ClickSense. You have ClickView, you have ClickSense. So those ones too. They're also user friendly. But with Power BI, because it's going to integrate with all your platforms, so it's quite easy for you. So if you are working so that way we have the Microsoft, we now have the Power Platform, okay? So which is made up of your Power BI, you have your Power Automate, you have your Power Visual Agent, okay? And there's one other one there. Is it Power Automate? Yeah, I think Power Automate, yes. So if you understand all these, so you can easily integrate them together. You can easily integrate them together. So that's just basically it. All right, I think we can start off. Let me. Yes, sir.
Hello, Doc. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. French, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The yeah, one thing I'm struggling with Power BI is, with Excel, when you create a chart in Excel, you can just copy it and paste it on Word. You can paste it on PowerPoint. You can embed it, right, in such a way that you can even double click on the chart and you go back to the data and you can adjust one or two things on the chart.
Yeah.
But with Power BI, we're having that
can't just-
issue. It's something that other platforms can Tableau do something like that? Because it's
So that you can
think
just copy it and
if
go and
that's
paste
something
it, right?
that
So
and
I
paste
think
it, yeah,
so. I
then
think
you
what they
can
have done,
manipulate it.
yes, in the full version. So when it's paid,
Okay.
the paid version, I think you can easily copy it and go and drop. But an alternative
Oh,
way
okay.
to do it is to use. So if you go to your Power BI service, so I think you can easily
Yeah.
download it to your PowerPoint. I think PowerPoint, but I'm not sure if you can copy it like that and take to Excel or Microsoft Word. So rather,
Oh,
what
okay.
you just do, you just clip it, take the picture out.
Yeah. No, because at times I was looking at a pitch book report this week, right? And it looked very. I mean, I can share it to the group. But it looked. You see that this was done. Page one was done in probably Power BI because it has charts, it has all this what we're doing, right? Then page two is now more Word, so it's a proper report. So if I'm going to do a report, for instance, I'd rather do my Word in PowerPoint or any other
So that is why
Word
with your
processing.
yes, so that's why with Power BI. So once you go to your Power BI service, so whatever you are doing here,
Yeah.
you can present it like a PowerPoint
Okay.
in the service, and everybody can share
Okay.
it. Do you get? So that's what they are trying to do
Okay.
with it. Yes.
So you can also import pictures and make it look
Yeah.
different.
We'll
I know.
look at all those ones. We'll look at all those ones.
Uh,
Look at how you
okay.
can customize basic visualizations. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today.
Okay.
All right. Is my Power BI showing now?
Not yet. Can see.
Okay. Is it showing?
Yes, it's showing. Yes.
All right. Okay, so far what we have looked at how to import an Excel file. Have we imported a text file? A CSV file?
Yes. We've imported CSV last.
You have imported CSV file, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes, I think drinks was CSV.
okay. Drinks was CSV. Okay. All right. Okay. Is anybody still having issues with that cleaning of that drinks file? Although the cleaning there's still a whole lot. Okay, let's try on that. Let me show you how to import. So for example, let me see which data I can use now. Okay, let's use this web. Yes, let's use web. I think web will be another one. So this is a simple way of getting data from the web. Let's go to, let me share my this thing. Let me copy this website now. Let's go to this COVID-19 data. Let me show you. So if you go on Google, just type covid19.ncdc.ng/reports. So search for it on Google. Just type covid19.ncd.gov.ng.
Dr. Francis, can you help us just paste it on the chat so we copy?
Okay, that's better. Where's my chat? Okay, chat's there.
Thank you.
All right. So you see, for example, that drinks data set. So we know the drinks data set, right? That I worked with was it last week?
Yes.
Yes.
So that drink data set was extracted with Python. Do you see that? That drink data set was extracted with Python. So you go to the website and extract the data and put it in that form. That is with Python, okay? So that is the web scraping. But with Power BI, you can also do that as long as it's just on one page. Okay? As long as it's just on one page. So otherwise, you have to still keep importing and importing. But if the pages are so many, then you have to now automate it. That's where Python can now come in for you. But when your data is in a table, just in one place, okay, then with Power BI, it is easy to collect that data. So have we opened the website now? Have you opened
Yes.
that page?
Yes, we have.
So you can see, for example, when I go through, can I see confirmed cases by state? Can you see like you have a table there?
Yes.
Exactly. So that table like that, when on that website you have a table in that structure, then that's fine. It's easy to just import it in Power BI. So if you come to your get data, it's a website, right?
Yes.
So where are you going to? You go and pick what? Web.
Web.
You see that? So just leave it on your normal, just paste the URL there and click OK. Then to start picking, I'm going to look for it for you.
Mine didn't show.
What did it show?
Excuse me, mine didn't show web.
It didn't show web. When you click get data, it didn't see web. Go to more now. Go to more. If you go to more, I don't know, it should be showing you somewhere there. You say yours didn't show. So if you check, let me type web here. Let me type web. So can you see mine here? Have you seen it? Who was asking the question? Have you seen it now? Okay. Every other person, have we got it now?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to paste.
Excuse me, Dr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the link that we're getting, is it my network went off during that period? Where did the link come about?
Where did the link come about?
Or how did we come about the link? Yes, please.
I told you, check for, just Google now, covid19.ncdc.gov.ng.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, I'm just trying to use an example to just show that, okay, once you have a website that has a table, you can easily extract that kind of table and do whatever.
Yeah, would it also work with like things like World Bank data or any
data, as long as the data is in the table, you can bring it out.
Okay.
Even PDF, but the PDF, PDF, there are two types. You have the PDF that they have locked. Okay, so those ones you may not necessarily be able to extract. But as long as it's normal PDF and there are tables there, you can also extract from PDF also. Okay, so as long as that. So can you see you have table 1. So if you click table 1, you check. Is this the table that we want? Does it look like the table that we want? Okay.
Yes.
If I look at table 2, is this the table that we want?
No.
No. So we're using table 1, so you just check table 1. Then what's the next thing you will do?
Transform data.
Transform data. Transform data. So I have to share my.
This one is YouTube. No need to promote it. Nothing.
My Power Query. So this one looks clean now. Is there anything that we need to do? Or maybe you can just edit it. Maybe I call this one states. I can call this one confirm cases. Then I can call this one. What should we call this one now? Number of cases on admission. So let me say admission. Discharge. Then dates. All right, so I can close and apply. Close and apply. All right, I think it's here now. So you can, if you want to label the names, so can you see where you have table 1? You can just write COVID. So that my table 1, I've renamed it as COVID. So that's right. So anything you want to do, you just drag and drop and start working. So can you see by default, because it's a map, a state, okay? Because it's state, then it will give you that form. Now, take note of something. You see here, like Abuja, you have on this map here, okay? Power BI does not understand what Abuja is. So that's why you may not necessarily see a data set there.
Dr. Francis, sorry, how did you get the map? Did you just drag states to it?
Just drag states automatically to pick the map for you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You pick the map. So what I want to show you here is that in Power BI, okay. Now you see this map is powered by this binge. Okay, it's powered by this binge. So Power BI, so let me take, for example, confirmed cases. Let me take my confirmed cases. Let me come and drop it on size here. Now you see when I dropped it on size, do you see that nothing happened to Abuja? Did you notice that?
Yes.
So the reason is that the way the table is, can you see, what do we have here? FCT.
FCT.
Now, Power BI does not understand what FCT is. Okay? It does not understand what Abuja is. So rather, you will rename that, you will rename it to Federal Capital Territory. So this is your FCT. I'll take it back to Power Query. Okay, I'll take it to Power Query and rename it as what? Federal Capital Territory. So sometimes when it doesn't see the name, so that can be the cause. Okay. Then also you need to take note of some things. So for example, like let me see Akwa Ibom. Then like your rivers, cross river. You see that you have to be careful with those spellings. And again, you need to also check whether they are hyphens or not. Okay, so those little things, they are very important. Okay, they are very important. So for example, that Abuja should be Federal Capital Territory. Okay, so you have your Akwa Ibom, Cross River. Okay, there's no hyphen. The moment you put hyphen there, it may not recognize it. So rivers, not river. You see some people when they type river, it's rivers. That's how to recognize it. So did you get that? Are we clear with that?
Nasarawa, is it not double S?
Which one?
Nasarawa. State.
Nasarawa, all those spellings now. Let's check. So
No,
Nasarawa.
it's not double S. It's not double S.
Now, if it does not recognize it, then so let me close and apply now.
Dr. Francis, please, how did you quickly switch to Power Query from the chat?
How do I switch? Okay, can you see your
Yeah, how
transform
did you
transform data? Can you see transform data?
transform data? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you see the difference now?
Yeah.
Can you see now? This Federal Capital Territory has recognized it now.
Okay.
So those little things can make the difference. Okay. All right. Are you clear with that? Let me even see if I still have. Let me see where I have those my COVID-19 data. Let's just work with this first. Okay. So did you get this?
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. So
Dr. Francis.
yes, sir. Yeah.
I can't see where I can't go back to the query page.
Look at now transform data.
I can't see this.
You can't see transform. What can you see? What can you see?
Under home, right?
Yes, under home. Can
Oh
you see
yeah,
query?
sorry. I was somewhere else. I've seen it now.
All right.
So that's where I'm going to change the name.
Yes, just change that name.
What else?
So anytime you are keeping data sets, okay? Anytime you are keeping your data set. So for example, like for me, if I go to my Excel, let me see if I still have my own arranged that way. So if I type Abia, let me see Abia. If I drag it down, okay. So it's there. So let me show you my Excel. So if I come to my Excel, so can you see my Excel now? So in case I want to type get states, can you see my Excel?
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir,
for example, if I, in Excel, when you type Monday, the next one should be what?
Tuesday.
Like, you understand that? So the same way, if I have, which one, January, right? The next one should be what?
February.
All right, okay. So if I have Abia, so what do you think should be the next one in alphabetical order?
What was itself?
So you see, all right, so that's it. So this how I've already customized my own. So anytime I'm working with the states, that's why these states, can you see it? I don't have Abuja, but I have what? Federal Capital or Territory. So that I can easily recognize the map, recognize it in the map.
Wait, do you do this yourself or is it part of Excel in use?
This one I did it myself already now.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you're working, so this is how Excel will always recognize these states and you can easily plot charts. So if I have run between, let me say 10 and 100. Okay. So the same way I have my map there is the same way that I also have map here. Okay. So it will automatically see my map for me. So can you see that? So if I want to just pick dates, then maybe I want to add my legends. There's my legend now. So data. So can you see that it has picked everything?
Yeah.
So that's how. So the same thing that is powered. Can you see it's powered by Binge? So the same thing that works with your Power BI. Okay.
Hey,
Same thing
Norman,
happens.
what if you had put Abuja instead of FCT? Would you have made a
Now, okay,
difference?
if you look at it, so if you leave it as FCT,
Yeah,
FCT here, right?
yeah.
What has that? What do you notice?
It didn't recognize it. No, what I mean is in Power BI, right? We replaced FCT with Federal Capital Territory. What if
Yes.
we replaced FCT with Abuja?
It's the same thing now. What you are seeing here is the same thing that will happen there.
Same thing. Okay, so the binge now does not recognize Abuja. That's what you
Exactly.
mean.
Doesn't recognize, yes.
Okay.
Were you the one that created this format for it, or it came with the binge itself? It's
Which one?
the whole state stuff.
No. The state is, yeah, I'm the one that customized it this way.
Okay, the whole state, Cross River Delta, you were the one that
Yeah,
customized.
I'm the one that customized it this way.
Oh, okay.
Then when we get to Excel, I think I'll show you how to do it.
But is the map also from Bing, or you put that yourself?
No, the map is in your Excel now. It's in your normal Excel.
No, yeah, it's in my Excel, but how does it know to go to the
So that map is already powered by the page. Okay, as long as it recognizes the data there or the state there, somebody say that this is a map.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Dr. Francis.
Afternoon, sir.
Sorry, I joined late. Are we working with any data sets?
Somehow we are I dropped a link there for you.
Oh, the NCDC link.
Yeah, exactly. So that we are learning how to extract from websites.
Ah, okay. My colleagues, sorry for taking you back. Have we gone too far? Or is this something I can catch up with?
You're an expert already now.
Not from website, so I've not learned what to link from website.
Okay, from websites. If you have copied that link, just copy that link. Copy that link. Then come to your data.
I have copied the link. Then data.
Get data. Web. So the way you have your Excel and text CSV, go to web.
Yeah, got it.
Then paste the web. Then paste it there now. That's all.
Okay. Then I say okay.
Yes. So you must first of all check that website has tables first.
Yes.
So as long as that website has tables, then that's fine. You can import it.
Then I connect, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you can do your normal transformation, but here the data is relatively clean, so there's nothing to do there. Okay, so the only point you are making is that on that table, you will notice that you have FCT there, Federal Capital Territory. So, and normally, so we human beings, that FCT is Abuja. Okay. But the way, so the map is powered by this binge. Okay. So that's how the map. So that is the technology that uses binge.
So I have two tables, document and table
so
0.
Identify which table do you want to import. So you want to import that COVID-19 data set. This is the table you want to import now. So that is table 1. So check table 1.
It says table 0 for me.
Okay, if it's table 0,
I don't know.
As long as this is the table you are trying to.
But at least I can see the states.
Exactly. So you have the states, exactly.
Yeah. So I can then transform,
Yes, transform, exactly. So change that FCT to Federal Capital Territory.
After I transform, all right.
Then if you want to change these names, you can change it or leave it as it is. All right. Okay, so change that FCT to Federal Capital Territory.
So how do I change it? I'm clicking on the box. I forgot. Edit.
Right click now, find and replace. Now, you are not cleaning data now?
Thanks. I got it. I remember now.
Yeah, the expert now. You guys are.
Yeah, let's go. Let's roll.
Dr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
Just asking, can we overlap data on this same chat? Say we have overlap data, right? Like we have this is COVID data for states. Say we now have population of states in another chat. Can we in another data set? Can we overlap it on this same one?
Definitely. Remember, I told you that's how you should learn how to think. How do I relate seemingly unrelated data.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So that question that you asked, so if you had the population data, no, isn't it? You have population data. Okay.
Yeah.
Here you have a COVID-19 data. So what is linking both of them together?
The states.
The states. Now, but you
Yeah.
see that state name. So rather than using state name, so what do? You now create another table called what?
State ID or what?
State. That state will now have state ID and state.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
That means that in this table, rather than you having states, now you have what?
State ID.
Then in population, rather than you having states, you now have what?
State ID as well.
State ID. So how do they link together?
The primary key of one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's a first, can you come again? I think my network was bad when you were explaining. Rather than having states, you have state ID. Then after that,
you have state ID. So in this table, you can have state ID here. In your population data, you also have states there, isn't it? Instead of you having state, you have state ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that state ID, they are the same thing, isn't it? So you are going to have another table for states alone.
Okay.
So do you remember that we are trying to avoid interdependencies? Okay. So rather than you having this name everywhere, no, we'll try and break it down into numbers. So here we have 1 to maybe 36. In your population data, you have 1 to what? 36.
36.
Then in your state data or your state table, you also have states and the name.
Okay.
Hey, please, you know those who have not done database, you are making it look like a Greek now. So please, let's not go too advanced. I don't know if I'm speaking your mind.
Yeah, first normal format, director.
Yes.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, please. For going to the web, is it only does Power BI only look for tables? Is there any other type of web content, not just tables, that it's going to recognize?
Actually, what are you trying to do in Power BI most times?
Relate tables.
Exactly, that's the same thing you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Is it possible that there are some sections of data that perhaps lists, not just in table format?
In lists. So, for example, if you look at the second table, table 2, that is identified for you, if you have checked it on the website, it looks like a list, but you put it in a table form. Do you get? So anything can pick out in the table. It may be in a list, as long as I can pick it in the table form, then to extract it for you. So where that limitation now comes in, that is why you have to now go and learn how to use Python to scrape the web. Did you get that? Yeah.
Dr. Francis, I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
I downloaded I know that I'm using a slightly older Power BI, but I downloaded the new one, October 2020.
I understand.
How do I make it default? So when I open Power BI now, I still open the older one. What do I do?
Let me see. So if you go to you have installed 2?
Yes, I recently, this week, installed the October 2020.
Okay, let me see. If you check on your search bar, go to your search, where you say type search, okay?
Yes, I now saw the other one. But
you saw 2 of them?
Yes.
Power BI, right? So type Power BI there, let me see. Power BI. Now there are 2. Okay, one you see Power BI desktop. Did you see that one there?
I'm seeing Power BI desktop app. Then I see Power BI.
So Power BI desktop. So what you are going to do, right click and pin to your start bar.
Yeah, I hope it won't be slowing down my computer.
Yeah?
If I put it to my start bar. If I put it on my start, it won't have it.
No. So just right click and say pin that Power BI desktop to your taskbar and uninstall that first one.
Yeah, maybe that's what I need. Yeah,
so
uninstall
that
the other one.
so that it will always pick it for you. Okay. Yeah, have I answered everybody's question now?
Sorry, Dr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
For me, sir. Now, you source the data from the NCDIC website, NCDC website.
Yeah, can you speak out? I can't really hear you.
Okay, sir. If data is sourced from the NCDC website.
Yes, sir.
The update automated.
Yeah, so I already told you guys that once you have done the thing, just do it once. That's all. Once you have done it once, you're gonna sleep. So can you see this now? Can you see my
Yes, we can.
So you just
query tool, how did you get here?
Which query?
Now, how did you? We were in another. Yes.
You have done everything.
Transform data,
right?
Okay. Yeah.
I just drag this here. That's all.
Oh, you just drag the state there.
Yeah.
The size to cases.
Then the cases. Can you see they are all of the same size here? So I just take confirmed cases and come and drop it on the size. But even if I drop it here, will it automatically keep it automatically from here?
Yeah.
Yes. So somebody was asking now. So assuming I have finished preparing my dashboard now, I've prepared my dashboard. Tomorrow comes, I'm not going to do anything. The only thing I'm going to do is just click refresh. That's all.
Okay.
Do you understand that? Once you just click refresh there, then that's all. It will just update everything. But the moment they change anything, that table structure from the original website, that's the end. It will just give you error. So you have to go and start looking for where the error is coming from. Hello. Somebody talking to us.
Me, I'm a bit, I'm still behind. What I can see now is Power Query Editor. So I need to close and apply, isn't it?
Close and apply now, yes. No, it's the same way we have been working with now.
Yes. So when I close and apply,
yes.
Maybe this screen is a little bit. This new Power BI is a little bit different. Let me share my screen quickly. It won't take time. Can you guys see my screen?
Can we see your screen?
Yes, I'm sharing.
So build Power BI visual. That's all now. Drag states now. That's all. Dump.
Okay, fantastic.
Going to change FCT. Don't forget FCT. FCT stores, okay.
It's still showing Abuja.
No, don't worry about that. Put your data, put your mouse there. Put your mouse on where you see that Abuja, that blue one exactly.
Yeah,
so
okay. Thank you guys. Thanks.
All right. Okay, so this was when I was trying to track it then. Can you see this?
Yes.
So this was before they even had their own then, okay? So when I updated, this one was as at April. So the problem I was having then is that anytime I try to refresh, they will go and change, but then I think they were still building it. Even the data set was even giving problems. So I was tracking them manually. So it was like I was doing their work for them. But the only problem is that when they have issues, you will not have to wait for them. Because when I started picking them manually, when they were posting from the Twitter, like live score.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't pick the right values there. So they will not wait for 9 a.m. and start telling you, sorry, that this is not the correct figures. Because when I'm picking them, I was picking them manually. So what I will have will be slightly different from what they're having. So I already know there's a problem already. So if you try to scrape it in that way, even what you are picking as the data will not still be correct because they are still going to change the values. So the thing was very frustrating. Then even after if you try to scrape it, then if you go and click refresh now, because I have different versions. There's one I have. Yes. So this was the one I was tracking from their website directly. But the problem was that when you click refresh, they will go and change something else and I cannot refresh my data again. Okay. So the thing was very frustrating. So that's why I stopped. I did not do it again with them. I just left it for them. So I tried to do Lagos separately. I tried to, I've forgotten. If you ask me what was I thinking here, I can't even tell you now.
Francis.
Yes, sir.
You know, we scraped the data from the website, but we changed FCT to Federal Capital Territory. When we click refresh, will that change automatically still occur?
You know, as long as you have done it once, that's all. They are not doing anything.
Okay.
Once you click refresh. Okay. So these are things now we are going to start learning. How do we pick different?
But Dr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Francis. Yes, sir, please. You know, I can understand what you're talking about, but how do we handle that kind of issue for like when there's an error in the report you got, and that is what automatically fed into your data? So now, and you made us to know that Power BI there is no undo button. How do we now correct such? If need be, we know in all cases that somebody can just give up and just abandon it, like what we are talking about.
Like my case is that if I want to do it again, I have to start from the beginning. So now I have to leave it. So
but is there any way, even if you have to isolate that place where the error is?
So look at it. So for example, like this one now, see, like this one now, is this connected to their website? So if I click refresh, normally it's supposed to just go and pick and refresh. But you see now, it just give me error. Do you understand? It just give me error. Because now, even that link as at when I had done this has already changed. Okay? So the problem is that you need to first of all identify where is the source of the problem coming from. So once you go and check the source of the data, then you don't check how can I fix them manually. Otherwise, that's where the problem comes from. If it's website, that means if the structure changes completely, then you have to go and completely change your own structure and rework it again. But if it is minor, then you can either add or delete so that it can match whatever they have there. So once it matches with whatever they have there, then you can refresh. But if there's a difference between what you have and what they have, there's no way you refresh and it will work. No way. Okay, so that was what was frustrating me that time. Then that's why I had to abandon it. That's why I had to abandon it. Okay, so this is just basically what I wanted to just show you guys. Okay, so there are different ways of. So I will now show you guys how do you use your visuals. Okay, now, but this data set again, let me show you another thing again. Now, this data sets. This data set, so for example, you see here, can you see here, I now have longitude and latitude. Did you see that? Longitude and latitude.
Yes.
So you can create another date table just for your states. So for example, you can break it into regions. So I can have the states, I have the region, okay, I have latitude, I have longitude. So that you can pinpoint exactly where you are trying to locate on the map. So that's why you can also go and get latitude and longitude data. It will recognize it in that bench. So if you want to pinpoint exactly where it is, then use your longitude and latitude. Okay. So that's the challenge. So when I was arranging this data initially, okay, remember I always tell you guys, always make sure your date is in a single column. You guys remember that, right?
Yeah.
But in the original data where I was trying to pick it, I was arranging the dates in different columns. But at the end of the day, when I was cleaning, I have to now bring them in this form. Now, why? So why, if you keep it in this form, in this particular form here, So imagine if you want to update this data. So if I want to update this data, guess what I will do? I'll now come here, Benue, I'll pick the next date, update it here, come to the next one, pick it here, you get, come to the next one, pick. So that will be time consuming. So that was the only time I now realized that when the date, especially when it's time series data in this form, with many dates and you're updating it manually, that it's easier to leave them in columns, or you have to transform them in a single column this way. Did you understand that?
Way.
Okay, let me not confuse you guys. Sorry. Let's go back to what.
Sorry, please take it again, sir.
No, I was saying that every time you must ensure your date is in this form, right? In a single column.
Yes.
Now the challenge I was having that if I put it in this column like this, if my data set was arranged like this, because I'm updating this data manually. So I'll just take my phone, I'll just go to their Twitter. Okay. I'll look at as at these dates, Ogun, how many they have, how many dates I'll fill, how many this I'll fill, okay, and I'll put it there. But remember that they release the data 3 times in a day. They will release it in the morning, they will release maybe in the midday or by 9 p.m. But you have to start adding the values up. You have to start adding the values up. So you cannot just scrape once. If I can scrape once, then it will be easy for me to do this. But because you have to pick it manually and add them up, because even their own, when they pick it manually, even when they add up, it doesn't still add up to the value they are publishing. So I have to do my own separately, one after the other, then add them up, then put the final value there. So imagine you have to be doing it one after the other. That means I have to be scrolling down this way, scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. Okay. Now this will be very tedious. But when I have arranged it in Excel, so what I did, I arranged the dates in columns. So for example, I have here maybe February, 27 February, 28 February, 1st March, 2nd March, 3rd March. Did you see that? So once I just check the date, I'll just put the value, 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 put the values here. Okay. Then when I come to Power BI, I just click refresh. It will just transform the whole data in this form. So that's how I have it this way. No, if it's confusing you guys, let's leave it. Yeah? Let's leave it. But think, but most time, whenever you want to work, you must remember. I keep saying, have the end goal in mind. Okay, how do you want to work with this data? Okay. Although this one there is no much thing we can do here, but let me just explain. So what I was just the whole essence of showing you this data that you can easily pick data from the web. Okay, pick data from the web. So, for example, I want to see on admission, how many are on admission? So, if I just drag it here, so how do you want to see this data? So, how will you see this data?
As a card.
As a card, exactly. So, I'll just put it as a card. That's all. As a card, so I can just arrange it as a card. Confirm cases, drop there, cards.
So, Dr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a quick one. With the data that you pull now from NCDC, or which can be from any site.
Yeah.
If, for example, I actually wanted to pull the same data from Excel, it seems as if they have different characteristics.
Well, it depends mostly.
But I just quickly tried to do the same thing now, because, for example, like one of our colleagues did mention, exporting the charts and stuff like that from here to like PowerPoint without the Power BI service can be a challenging one. So
Yes.
if it's something that is basic, because I was a bit amazed with the map creation and stuff like that. So I quickly tried to see if it's something that could be done in Excel, but Excel gave a completely different dimension, completely different with the same data source. So I just wanted to see if it's
Okay, with the same data set.
with the same data source. Yes, sir.
Okay, give you something different. Let me see. Excel. So you know Excel, what we have done in Power BI, what we just did in Power BI, you know it's Power Query, right?
Yes, sir.
You know that is what we are dealing with is Power Query, isn't it?
Yes, yes, sir.
So what we have done in Excel is the same thing now. So I come here to my data, right?
Correct.
Get data, right? Then I'm going to pick from the web.
From it, yes.
So other sources. So can you see from web? From web, paste there, click OK. So I have documents. So this is not what I'm looking for. So this is the one I'm looking for. So transform data. What do I want to replace? I want to replace this with Federal Capital Territory. Federal Capital Territory. Okay. So let me close and load. Is my screen still showing?
Yes, it is, sir.
It's still showing. Yes, so it's still showing, right? Okay. So what do you want to now map now? So let's assume I want to map this one out. So insert my table values. Is this what you're asking?
I think, sir. I think the problem would have been with my own Excel. So because it gave me, it started showing the reports on the site. It was showing the site itself. So I think that this can be done in Excel. At least this level can be done in Excel.
Yeah, it can be done in Excel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's revealing. So thank you very much, sir.
That's fine.
Sorry, the colleagues, for dragging us out of the. Because thanks a lot.
That's fine. Remember, I tell you guys that Power BI is Excel. Okay, everything I've seen there in Power BI. So what you have struggled to do in your Excel is what you are doing here in your Power BI. Okay, so basically, if assuming this is the visual you decided to create now, okay. So tomorrow, if tomorrow comes, you don't have to do any other thing again. All you just do, come here and click what refresh. That's all. So all your data will just what refresh, and that's how it will be. But the only problem you have is that when they now decide to go and change something on that website from the source, then that connection, because this connection, they are different and you have no control over that, then you have to go and start working over again to try to fix what you can. Okay? All right. Are we clear with this? How to pick data from the web?
Yes.
All right. So let's open that data set. Which data set now? I think, was it sales data? I think the one that has quite a lot of data. Maybe sales data.
But we close this and open the Power BI for sales?
Yeah. You can close your Power BI. If you want to save it, then let me check where is my own source.
Mr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
I saw in one of the reports you shared that you did some animation. So I don't know if it's something that you can also show us.
Which animation?
For example, how there was one that was kind of showing how the
bar, the states and numbers.
Yeah, how the numbers were increasing over the days. From some days.
There was also the running one of the states, like the states and numbers in front of it.
Yeah, like a scroll bar, something just scrolling past the numbers. Yeah.
Like that news headline chart and stuff.
Okay, like news. I will show you guys. And now we're going through gradually. Now you cannot learn everything in one day.
All right, no problem.
Now I'm showing you guys little by little now. If I bring everything at once, now it will be overwhelming now.
Slow and steady win the race. Let's go. Slow, steady.
Slow and steady now. Slow and steady. So let's use sales data. So let me just show you guys little stuff that we're going to need. So sales data, I think it should be a sales an Excel file. Yes, sales data.
Dr. Francis, you're not seeing your screen, no?
You're not seeing my screen.
Yes.
Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Are you
So
transforming
my
everything?
Power BI that I show you, right?
We can see Power BI, yes. Blank screen.
Okay, blank screen, exactly. Blank screen. So I come to my get data Excel file sales. Okay.
Everything?
So remember that, can you see that like replicated? I think we can differentiate what these are now, right? If you see this, what does this mean?
That's a table, right?
It's a table. What does this mean?
Cell?
This.
No, that's not a cell. That's an array.
What about this?
I think this one is
Cell.
an array.
Yeah, this is an array. This is a sheet.
Oh, okay.
This is a what?
Sheet, okay.
A sheet.
Sheet, okay.
Yeah. You know how you range name now? You know how you range name? You pick that
Yes.
array and range name it exactly. This is a range name. This is a sheet and this is a table. So best practice, what I say you should always do?
Select your tables.
Put them in tables. Do we know why we should always do this? Do we know why?
It aids updating of data because
Exactly. So automatically Excel will just pick that range for you. Automatic. So once you update it, Excel will automatically keep expanding the data automatically. Okay, there's nothing to clean here now, right? So what I will check now? Let me check my. So I have FCT here. So FCT, I'll call it Federal Capital Territory.
How many? Are they 6 or 5 tables?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Federal Capital Territory. Okay.
Dr. Francis, is the order is the order always the same? Like the tables would come first?
No, it doesn't really. It really doesn't matter.
So if there's a chance that there'll be a table, like if the list is longer, there'll be a table at the bottom. I have to go down there and select it.
Which table are you talking about now?
You know, when in the navigator view,
yes.
When you selected the tables and some of them were arrays and some of them were sheets.
Yes.
My question is it always going to be that the tables would come first, or is
No. Okay, that structure, yes, most likely. Yes. Okay. But why it was arranged that way so that you can learn the difference. So most likely, preferably from Excel, save it as a table first. Otherwise, if you don't save it as a table, then it show you that second one as a sheet. Okay, so most of that's how to arrange table sheet.
Okay.
All right. So have we done this?
We can't see. Okay. I thought you brought in the tables.
I didn't bring it. I just only brought it from. I just opened it in Power Query.
Yeah, in Power Query. Yeah.
All right. So you see, I have changed it here, right? FCT, I changed here to Federal Capital Territory. Did you see that?
Yes.
Now look at this. If you're in Excel, so let me show you. If you're in Excel, where do I have states? Now, do you see your state ID here? You see state ID here? So imagine I have state ID. Where do I have state ID again? So imagine I have state ID in maybe 5 other places. I have states in 5 other tables. Do you see the reason why if I create this table, I just change it only in this place? It means I've changed it every other place. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because state ID links it.
Because that state ID links every other thing.
Can you
But
take
if
that
I was
again?
having them in different Excel sheets, that means I have to go to each Excel sheet and start changing them. You see where the inefficiency now comes. So imagine you have a large data like that. It means I have to go to each of that sheets in Excel and start changing them.
Dr. Francis, can you take that again? So you, when you, in the data source, we have the state IDs in all the sheets or not?
So for example, the only place that we have sales is here now.
Yes.
Is it not?
Uh-huh.
So you see so that Federal Capital Territory, FCT, I also change to Federal Capital Territory, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because it's already linked here already, can you see that state ID?
Yes.
So that FCT is what I just changed here to Federal Capital Territory. I didn't have to come back here to start changing it.
Yes.
I only changed it in one place, that's all.
Mm.
So this is why we're always preaching that anytime you have a data, break it into smaller units. Break them into what? Smaller what? Units. Can you see that? Break them into smaller what? Units. Because most time, if it was in your normal Excel, you would have just had one big Excel file. Right? So if you have it in that way, that means if I needed to change anything, that means I have to change it in each place I see it.
So when you break them into smaller units, then you'll be making sure that you have state ID in all those small units.
Yes, anywhere that I have state, anywhere I need to work with the state ID, yes, I will do that.
Or like, for instance, if it was like time series, do you make sure that you have year data on all of them?
Exactly, that's it. So here, there's nothing really to clean here, right? Nothing much to clean. Generally, anything to clean? No. So
what happens if you have like headers and subheaders in the Excel, for instance, in your
headers and subheaders? So most times, what was our rule?
Just a table of header, right?
One row of header.
One row of header. Yeah.
So you must look for how to make sure that you have one row of header. Otherwise, if you have sub tables, take them to separate tables. Remember, first form.
24.
All right. So can we go to Power BI now?
Yeah.
Close and
sir.
apply. Yes.
Hello,
There's nothing
sir.
much to clean here. Close and apply.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so mine still has FCT on the Power Query. What could have gone wrong?
Did you replace it?
No, on this. Okay, I thought you said if we replace on that other one we worked with, it will apply to this one, or was that what you were?
There are two different tables now. There are two different files.
Okay. So I have to replace it on this one.
If they were linked, then you just do it, but they are not linked now. Make sure you, now I say close your Power BI, open it again and import the new file so there will be no confusion.
Okay.
So there will be
All
no
right.
confusion. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody, we have this now. So I want to just show you how to work with maps, with the various visuals. Okay. Is my Power BI screen showing now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what we try to do when visualizing, I normally suggest do it on paper. First, how do you want it to look like? But most times, you can also just be playing with it, drag, drop, and try to play with it. Okay, then later you now start creating it. But if you do it on a piece of paper, at least you know exactly what visuals you need. Okay, but you see that there is a whole lot of visuals that you can work with. A whole lot of visuals. Okay, a whole lot. So you need to first of all ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve? So before I'm doing my dashboard or my report, you need to first of all know, what do I want to achieve? What's my objective? Okay? Because at the end of the day, that dashboard or that report must be understandable and actionable. That means if I finish that report on my dashboard and I send it, somebody who did not even know anything about the data, just by looking at that dashboard, can understand it. And by looking at it already, he already know what action to take. Okay? You must already know what to do based on that. So we have a lot of visuals, a whole lot of visuals. Now, the visuals may have rules, but not, will I say, they have a whole lot of rules, but they're just basic things you should just take note of. Okay? Just take note of some things. So the first thing I've said is that every report of that there must be an objective. So remember how we started that. First of all, there's a problem in the organization. Okay. So based on that problem, there are questions you are going to ask. Right. So to answer those questions, you need a database. Okay, a particular data to answer that question. Right. Then based on that data, you now have to start what? Analyzing what? The data. Okay, so after analyzing the data, you now bring out your dashboard or whatever you want to do. So while bringing that, you must have what? A target. Okay, so if it's sales you are looking for, so you must have what? A target, an objective. What do I want to achieve? When you draw your visual or your report, just make sure that everything should be at a glance in one page. But that is a dashboard. A summary, a one-page summary. So what we should try to avoid is that the moment you see that you are drawing different visuals, you can now do a scroll bar. The moment you start scrolling, you start scrolling like this, that's not a dashboard already. So make sure that in that your dashboard is just in one page. Don't scroll anything. You don't need to scroll. Just in one page, you should see it. Otherwise, if it's too much, then open a new page. So that means this report maybe can be for sales. Another report can be for customers. Another report can be for products. Another report can be for another thing. Rather than you putting everything together on one page. Is that clear? Do we get that? Okay. Then other things again you can take into consideration. So make sure that everything must be kept in one page at a glance. You are seeing everything at a glance, okay? And try to keep it as simple as possible. As simple as possible. Okay? Keep it as simple as possible. Then other things that we'll start best practice though, we'll try to keep all our charts aligned. Okay, they should all be on the same line, aligned. Okay, and again, if we are using colors, we have to be consistent with the colors. Okay, be consistent with the colors or the patterns. You have to be consistent with that. Then another thing I think we can do is that if there are unique data that we need to show, then we can use separate color to bring them out. So for example, if the sales have been increasing since, we can use green color. But the moment it drops, that one will now paint it red. So that red color already stands out. You get that? It will stand out. Okay. So that's why when we are doing our visual, we have to be clear in what we are trying to do. So these are some of the things we are going to start looking out for. Okay. Although the rules may be quite many, but you don't know which is the best, but just pick what you think works for you and use. Okay. So I'll just give you basic things that may work. Okay. But the most important thing is that make sure that your visual is simple enough for everybody to understand. It must be understandable and actionable. Okay. So every other thing we are going to be dragging and dropping. So that is what will just be guiding us to what we are doing. Okay, so I will just show you how to do it. So for example, what kind of questions do you think we can ask for this data? So this is a sales data, right? So we have different data. So we have product subcategory. We have sales channel. We have sales data, right? We have sales products, okay? We have sales promotion, and we have what? Sales state. So normally, once you have brought in your data, remember you have to go and check your model. Are they all connected? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Are they all connected? So can you see this one? This is not connected. So this should be connected to where? This guy. Okay.
You connect that to where? What do you connect it to?
I connected it to. Can you see sales channel? Can you see that?
The channel key.
I just drag it to sales channel. Yeah. So most time, this is what we refer to as the star schema. This is like a star. But most time, what I just prefer, I just put this one down here and take every other thing up so that I can see the link. Or you can just arrange them around, okay? So they refer to it as what? A star schema. So it is your knowledge of your database management that will help you build this. Okay, so we have our star schema. And remember, most time, what relationship should we expect to see?
One to many.
One to many. One to many. Can you see that? That means it appears once here, but it can appear many times here. Okay, one to many.
Dr. Francis,
Yes, sir.
my sales channel is not connected.
Exactly. Now that I say drag it now, drop it there now. Look at mine was.
Drag it and drop it on sales data.
Look at
Dr. Francis, when you drag it, must you put it inside channel key in sales data? You can put it anywhere.
Just take it there, so there'll be no problem, and drop it there exactly.
Anywhere, okay, just inside.
Take it to where you have sales channel there and drop it there.
No, don't drop it anywhere. You have to put it on channel key. If not, it won't connect. If you just
okay.
Can you see that? Now I'm dragging it specifically to where channel key is.
Is okay.
Dr. Francis, please, can you come back again for my internet got kicked out. So I don't know how you guys got here.
We have not done anything. I just switch to relation. Just switch here to model.
Okay. Oh.
You have done it before now.
Yeah.
So you just drag it and drop it. Okay. Drag and drop. So if I go and drag it and go and drop it on that sales ID now, do you see it has one-to-one? Is this the kind of relationship you want?
No, you want one to many.
But do you understand what one-to-one is? The relationship one-to-one. Do you know what we have done here? Can you see this sales channel? Can you see sales data? So we are just matching them. Can you see? All the ones, we just record all the ones, all the twos, and all the threes. To just match all of them together. So if in case you have a one-to-one relationship like that, there's no need to waste your time. Just merge them as one table. It doesn't make any sense. So one-to-one, just merge them as the same table together. Many to many, it means that I have it many times in one table and it appears many times in that table. In that case, it is very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, to actually pick that relationship. Very difficult. But there are some situations where it may arise, but it's very rare. Very rare. Okay, so I just dropped
Dr. Francis, I'll continue with the explanation one-to-one.
See, let's not disturb you with one-to-one. Just understand that one-to-many. Just understand what you need is one-to-many. Okay, let me use Excel to explain it. Maybe, I don't know if it makes sense. But what the whole important thing you need to understand is that once I pick my data, I should ensure that it is one-to-many. Okay, it is one-to-many. So let me see here. So can you see sales data here? Can you see sales data?
Yes.
Okay, let me look for. Okay, let me use this small one and explain. Let me use this small one and explain it. So you see, if I assuming I have here sales, maybe I have 200, 300, 400, 500. Do you see this? Can you see this data like this? Can you see this data like this?
Yes.
So if I take this one out, I have sales, and I go and put sales channel here, like this. Do you see this?
Yes.
Can you see the two tables I've brought out now? Can you see this table and this table?
Yes, I can see them.
Can you see that this matches with this?
Okay.
You see that this one matches with this?
Mm-hmm.
This one matches with this? Eh?
Yes.
And this matches with this. Do you see that?
Yes, yes.
Which means that this value is this value, this value is this value. That means that when I pick the data, it will just give me a one-to-one relationship. So what I'm saying, rather than you separating them in two tables, don't waste your time. Just take them together as one.
Okay.
That's one-to-one relationship. You get? Because it makes no sense to separate that table like that, because at the end of the day, they match the same way. So that's why they call it one-to-one. So whenever you have one-to-one relationship, so what you do, you just merge that table together because they are still the same thing. So right now I'll have to close this page and not save. If I save this table now, it will give me an error here. Okay, so that's just basically it. So every time we should expect to have what? One-to-many relationship. Okay, so once this is clear, then we're fine. So what I was trying to ask now, so remember that this asks the questions, right? So state, what question is he asking? This table states, what question is he asking?
Where
is
we?
So what kind of question do you want to ask?
It's the geography now. Geographic.
So put in a question form.
Which state are we selling more?
Okay, which states are we selling more? Okay.
It's demographics now. Market. Where is the market?
There is the market. Okay. Opportunity. Okay. Yes. What again? Any other question you want to ask from there? Okay. Channels. What's channels asking? Sales channels.
Which channel is the most active or the most is bringing the most sales?
Which brings the most value, right? Which channel? Is it online or
most active channel? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What other question? Yes, what other question? So you see where your ABP now comes in. How do you find what the right problem, addressing the right problem, asking the right questions? You see that? So when you learn how to frame the right questions, okay, then you'll be able to identify, okay, where is this answer going to be coming from? Which data set is this answer going to be coming from? Sales promotion, what question do you want to ask?
What kind of events, marketing events?
Hold on, let's take the first one. Yes, what's the first question?
You want to know the effect of promotion on the sales, like
okay, the effect of what? Promotion.
Sales.
On sales, okay. Yeah, what again? Yeah, what that question?
Probably the type of promotion that influence sales the most.
Okay, the promotion
that has the influence on sales.
Influence sales the most. Is that not the same thing with the effect of promotion on sales?
Yeah, but you could also check the kind of events that led to the promotion, as well as the time, that considering if you have time in the
seasonal elements.
Yeah, check seasonal elements.
So this answer the question what?
So he answers the question what? Okay. What are sales products? What kind of questions can you ask?
Okay, so for product, you can even link that to promotion again and see, okay, what kind of products were sold the most at some point for which brand at what time, and you could also link that to promotion and say, okay, when we did this promotion, this product was properly sold. So there is something that that's called boosting when you do e-commerce, for example, where you promote a particular kind of product at some time and then you measure the sales to see.
Okay, thank you. Then product subcategory. What kind of questions can you ask?
Okay, so on this one, different products have categories. So for example, shoes will be fashion, TVs will be electronics. So
yeah,
see which categories are selling more. And then, even under categories, there are subcategories. So for example, under electronics, you can have accessories different from TVs. So you want to see which are the major categories that are selling. And then the ones that are selling, what can you do to boost them as well? So the ones that you to boost them as well.
Fine. Thank you very much. So you see all these that you have one, they are all your questions. Okay. Why this men is your data, right? So all the answers should come from this data set. This is your sales data. Okay. All the answers should come from this sales data. So that's why I will first of all pick the questions. I'll pick the question, and the next thing I'll take is the answer. You understand that? So I'll pick the question, the next I'll pick is the answer. Did you see that? I'll pick a question, then pick the answer. So that's how I'm just going to pick. So let's come here now. So if I'm coming to product category, I'm trying to answer a question. What was the question I want to ask? Let's say which, okay, let's say state. So which state is selling the most? Is that not the question?
Yes.
So I'll pick my question. I'll pick my question. So I drop that. So the state itself, right? So I can pick my question. This is states. Now, automatically, when you pick states, it may give you in form of a chart. Rather, you can switch it to a table. You see that? You can switch it to a table. Okay, you can switch it to a table. Then, where is the answer coming from?
From sales.
From sales.
Sales. So from sales, what am I picking from sales now?
Total sales.
Cost of sales or price?
Okay, okay, let's say cost of sales.
No, cost of sales, more like.
Oh yeah, cost of sales more like. Sorry.
All right. You see that? Question, answer, question, answer. So again, if I want to find out, okay, which zone, if I drop zone here, what will I see here? In terms of region, right? I want to find out maybe order quantity. You see that? Okay. I'm sure this one, everybody knows how to do this normally, right? We all know how to do this, isn't it? So if you have seen that, okay, so why do I put them in tables? Why do I need to put them in tables? Now let me come back here. Let me disconnect sales channel. Let me disconnect sales channel from here. Leave it in your own case. So let me disconnect it from here. So sales channel. So if I come here and I take sales channel, where's my sales channel? This is my sales channel. Okay. So if I take channel name here and I take my sales data, let's say quantity, let me take other quantity here and drop. So what did you notice?
You get the total for each channel or outlet. And the summation is not adding up.
So is this correct like this way?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So do you understand why they have to be connected? Because what is this one showing us at the end of the day? This is just simply showing us, if I take my other quantity, right? If I take my other quantity and I put it as a card, right? So that's what we are seeing here. But it's not breaking them into the different sales word channel. Do you see that? It's only giving me my word total without breaking them into what the individual word sales word channel. So what do I need to go and do? I need to go and check my model. Is it connected? So if I connect it to my model here, and it's connected. So can you see the one to many? So if I come back here, do you see the difference now?
Yeah.
So it is only now that you have it like this that you can now visualize your data. Okay, you can now visualize your what? Your data. Okay, so we are going to go through the visual so that we just understand, okay, this visual, what is it that we are trying to achieve with what the visual? Okay, but it still depends on your own objective. Okay, but when you are visualizing your data, there are basically 3 parts, or let's say 4 parts in data. Okay, so either you want to make comparison. So if I want to compare two things, okay, so how do I compare on the visual? Which visual do you think is best for comparing?
Bar charts. Bar charts.
Yeah?
Like bar charts or
Bar charts,
lines or
okay.
lines.
Yeah?
Line graphs.
Line graphs, okay.
Histogram.
Histogram, okay, that again. Yes, what again?
Pie charts. The pie
Eh?
chart.
Pie charts.
Pie chart.
Now, the first question you must ask yourself, the comparison I'm making, is it static or is it dynamic? That means, is it at a point or is it over a period of time?
Mm-hmm.
If your comparison is at a point, let's say for 2020, so which chart do you think is good for that kind of comparison?
That's the bar charts.
That's where the bar chart comes in, your pie chart comes in. Okay? But if I'm trying to compare over a period of time,
then the bar chart can be used.
I think that'll be for the histogram. That should be a line, something that shows a trend.
Line
a line.
chart, yeah.
So line chart is usually for what? Multi-word period. Do you get that? Yes, sometimes you see people use the same cluster bar charts to also show that, okay? But most time, you may not necessarily see that trend easily in your bar charts or your cluster bar charts. So most time when you are comparing in a static data, we use the bar charts, okay? But once we are looking at the dynamic data that changes over time, the most appropriate is what? Your what? Line word chart. Did we get that?
Yeah.
Now, the only time you can use for example, your histogram is when you are looking at distributions, where the data is quite large. So you are looking at what? Distributions. Okay, so when you are looking at distributions, then that is where you use what? Your histogram. You get that? When you are looking at distributions, that's when you use what? The histogram. Okay. But if I'm looking at relationship, what kind of chart do you think I can use? If I'm looking at relationship,
do we have a scatter chart?
You can use what? A scatter chart. Yes, you can use what? A scatter chart. So when I'm looking at relationship, okay, you can use what? A scatter chart. Okay. Now, rather than you using a scatter chart, there's now a new form of chart. What's that chart called? What is the new form of the chart called? Yeah?
I missed that, sorry.
I said the scatter charts, okay? There's a new form of chart now. Rather than using scatter chart, there's a new form of chart. What is it called?
Scatter matrix.
Scatter matrix. Scatter matrix, you don't fall into this. Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Maybe the donut.
Yeah? No, for pie chart is like donut charts ahead. For pie charts like donut charts, yes. But now for scatter charts, there's a new chart now you see, quite popular now.
Is it the bubbles?
Bubble chart, exactly. Bubble charts. Bubble chart. Somebody posted. Was it last week? Someone was asking. He posted was it Ayobami that posted something, and the charts were now moving up with the states or the values. Who posted that? Was it last week or so? Somebody posted it on the group.
Yeah, it was a moving bar chart showing trend over time. Yeah.
Okay, that was showing trend over. Okay, that was a bar chart, moving bar chart. So the same way you can also do that for your bubble chart also. Okay, but most of when you are looking at those kind of relationships, so you can use your scatter charts. Okay.
We have bubble chart in. Do we have the bubble chart in Power BI?
Yeah, you have your bubble chart there, okay? But in the bubble chart, rather than them calling it the scatter, so what they have used, they use the, let me see what they called it here. Influencer.
I don't see it.
No, I think it's still in this scatter chart here. It's still in this scatter chart.
Okay, there's something that showed up now towards the left of your screen at the bottom. Is that it?
Yeah, this is it now. This is scatter chart. Can you see it? The scatter chart is also your bubble chart.
I think you just change the sizes to the sum of what you want.
Yeah. Just
the bubble.
Size and exactly. Okay.
Question, please.
Yes.
You said it helps to see relationships. How does it help?
To see
The bubble or the
relationships.
scatter plot. Yes.
So normally when you are dealing with relationship, that means you are looking at like the relationship between two variables, and most of these variables are quantitative, right? They are what? Quantitative. So it makes no sense to be putting one qualitative and one quantitative. You may not be able to see that kind of this thing, okay? So it's just like me picking maybe, let's say, price. Let's say I pick price on my y-axis and I pick let's say other quantity on my y-axis. Okay, now I have to say do not summarize, okay, and do not summarize. They should do. There doesn't show any kind of relationship there.
No.
So you see why with this kind of, because these things are more like statistics, right? They are more like statistics. So you see where the limitations of Power BI starts coming in. Okay, but again, you must try and understand the kind of data. Maybe because this data is quite large, so you may not see this kind of relationship straightforward. So that's why most time you either use your R or Python. The core statistics aspect you want to visualize, you can now also bring them here. Do you see that? Okay. Then some people may want to now bring in a legend. Let me say subcategory. Now, can you see this is now to maybe put them in different words, patterns. Maybe this value is too large. So let me use maybe sales channel. Let me sales channel legends. Yes, so can you see now it will start breaking them. But although this data is quite large, that is why you can't really
Dr. Francis.
Yes.
Yeah, I was also thinking the relationship we're talking about, was it not in terms of the size of the statistic relative from one category to another? Take, for instance, the COVID-19 data that we presented, that we, what's it called, did the graphics for earlier.
Yeah.
The size of Lagos was bigger than the size of FCT, or the size of FCT was bigger than the size of Calabar. So you see, yes, they're all in places where these things are, but by looking at the different sizes of the bubble, you know which is more, which has more.
Yeah, that exactly what bubble chart does for you. What you explain is what bubble chart does for you. But scatter graph in itself should show you whether they are positively related or inversely related.
Okay.
You get that? What you described is exactly what bubble chart does for you.
Okay.
So, but they merge everything into bubble charts, scatter graph, they all merge it under here. So you need to first of all understand how your chart should look like. Then you start working towards it and adjusting it till you get the right visual. So you see here, it's already limited what you can put here. That's why in Tableau, you can easily customize it the way you want. Okay? You can easily customize it the way you want. But what I want to just do, I want to just go around the chart so that you just understand how most of them work and what will guide you. So basically, we have looked at it in terms of comparison, in terms of relationship, in terms of distribution. Then sometimes we can look at it in terms of composition. Okay, in terms of what? Composition. So it means that if you have like a data with other sub data, okay, like your maybe, what would I call that? Okay, like subcategories, maybe subcategories. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Like data inside the data, right? So those are like
Yeah.
composition. Okay. So in that case, what we can use, we have different kinds of charts for that. Okay. So we can use what they call the area stack.
Waterfall.
Yes, waterfall.
Yeah.
Yes, so you have the different kinds of charts to do that. Okay. So that way here
Funnels.
you see,
Yeah.
yes, funnels. Good. You have funnels. Okay. So that's how the charts are arranged. So when I'm trying to compare a static data, then I can use any of these ones. Can you see that? Can you see that? Anyone, when I want to compare a static data, I will use any of these ones on top. Anytime I want to see over time, can you see that? Line charts, can you see that? Area charts.
Sorry, do that again. If I'm looking at static data, I will use any of the first row.
Can you see that? Those of the static data.
Okay, lines and
when I'm looking at
dynamic
it over time, then I can look at it this way. Okay. Then if I am trying to also compare, okay, now in terms of compositions, then I can also use any of these, how they are broken down. Okay. But this one here can be used to show like relationship. Okay. And all, again, that's why when you saw that data, I also try to show composition and various sizes. That's what your bubble chart does for you.
I have a quick question. On waterfall, for instance, you know, one of the rules is that we don't put totals.
Yes.
If you want to do a waterfall, you
to
will need
calculate
a
the
total.
total for you automatically.
It will add everything together and give you the total.
Yes, just like maybe I pick maybe the channel name. Let's say channel name. I pick maybe.
We can put it on zone and other quantity already. So
Yeah, I pick maybe quantity like this. So
Yeah, let's use a waterfall for this.
So if I use waterfall for this, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it picks automatically. Okay. Then when you are looking for maps or regions, okay, so this is where your maps now come in. Okay, so you have the different, so this is the most conventional one, okay, the beach map. This field map, now this field map will give you just like an area. So just like you have, I think like Uber map, something like this, just like a particular region. It doesn't give you the whole space. I think in this point, that's where you need your longitude and latitude to get pinpoint exactly where I'm looking for. Okay, in terms of the location. So that's where the little difference is. Then this, I think they call this, is it ArcGIS map? This one is powered by ArcGIS. It's almost similar to it. Okay, it's almost similar to it. It's almost similar to it.
Sir, Dr. Francis.
By default, most of them will give you US maps. By default. Okay, so that way if you just put data, even if it's Nigeria data, and you don't specify the location, they go and give you somewhere in US. Okay, so that way with those longitude and latitude data, you can now pinpoint exactly where you need to view. Okay, so these are usually for your maps. Okay, now you also have your gauge. You also have what? Your gauge. So gauge, for example, if I'm looking for a target, so for example, maybe for 2020, you have set a target that you want to make a revenue of 20 million. Okay, you want to make a target of what? 20 million. So that's your target. Do you understand that? That's your target. Now, this gauge is now telling you, based on the data you have, okay, based on the data you have you met up to that target? So you now be seeing like an arrow going towards that target, or whether you have surpassed. So for example, if this is your target, at this point, it means you have not met your targets. But it's telling you the extent to which what remains for you to meet your targets. So that's what that gauge is doing for you. Okay, it helps you to what meet that your what target. So that's what the gauge does for you.
Dr. Francis, please, can we have a practical example so we'd have an idea?
We are going to go through all of them. The thing is that I just want to explain everything, give a broad overview of each of them. Then we'll start picking them and looking, because sometimes not all the data will meet a particular chart that it can be used. You understand that? So I will look for what I can use to. Do I have any target data here?
I think a good example would be on anything relating to break-even analysis.
Break-even. Let me see. So how will that work?
So basically, you want to know, after the calculations, right? You want to know how many units, right, of a particular product to sell to be able to cover your fixed
right?
costs.
Exactly.
Exactly. So that will now be your target.
Exactly. That will be your target. Exactly. Thank you.
But then, okay, yeah, cool. Thank you.
Now that's so in that case, that's where you use this gauge. Okay, I'll try and look for it. I don't know if we have any data that can meet this criteria here, but then your card, okay, your card. So your card is just a summary. Okay, just a number to summarize it. Okay, so remember your descriptive statistics. Do you remember descriptive statistics?
Yes, we do.
So can you give an example of descriptive statistics?
Mean, median, mode.
So all those your mean, median, mode, variance, minimum, maximum. Okay, so that's what your card. You just use to summarize it. So what is the count? How many? What is the number? Okay, so your count, your maximum, your average, your minimum. So those are the basic ones we look at. So that card is used to what summarize it. The multi-row cards is maybe at different levels. Okay, it summarizes at what different levels. So that's the multi-row cards. So if your data set is quite large, okay, and you cannot just use one number to summarize it, then you use your multi-row cards. Then here we have what they call your KPIs. Okay, your KPIs. Are you meeting KPIs or not? But again, so when you are surpassing your KPI, it should give you like a green. When you are not meeting your KPI, it should give you what? A red. Okay. So these are the kind of data we are looking at. Then you have your slicers. Okay, your slicers. Okay, so your slicer is to break down the data, break it down. Then the most common one we have seen is your table. So this is the most common one that we see is the table. So sometimes by default, it either arranges data in a table or arranges in a column bar chart. But if it states, then you just pick it as a map, as long as I recognize automatically. The same way we have a matrix. Okay, a matrix is just like your pivot table. Okay, so when you are in the Excel, there's one table that you see the format as your table. Then you start breaking them into various stacks. So that's what this matrix does for you. So once you just drop your data rows and columns with values, totals, then you just arrange it in that form for you. Then you have your R and your Python. So it means I can integrate my R and Python visuals here. So remember when we are dealing with data visualization in Python? Do you remember that? Do you remember how you do your data visualizations in Python?
Yes,
So the same way
that code,
yeah, exactly. So the same code you are writing in your Python, okay, the same code you're writing in your Python is exactly what you're going to write here.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'll first of all I'll type import what? Pandas as PD. Import what? NumPy as NP, right? Import what? Seaborn as SNS, right? Import what again?
Matplotlib.pyplot
pyplot.plt as pyplot.plt, exactly. Then I will now plot. That's exactly what you are writing in your Python. Is what you bring here and drop. Same thing happens with R. Okay. Then you have what they call your key influencers. Key influencers. Somebody was asking, what was that question someone was asking? The key promotion that influences sales. Okay. So to answer that question, you use this your key influencer. Key influencer. Key influencer. I think this data can answer that question. So if you are looking for your sales, do we have sales data here? Do you have sales?
Sales and channel. We can check channel, or we can check.
Do we have sales itself?
Promotion,
Sales. Do we have sales itself?
Cost of sales? No.
Okay, if we assume that this cost of sales is our sales, okay, let's take cost of sales, okay? And somebody was asking that the promotion, where was promotion? Promotion.
Sales promotion.
Yeah, sales promotion. So let me see. Do you have the different types? So promotion name.
Yeah.
So promotion name. Or no influencer found. So that data in itself is not enough to tell us. Let me see this. It's not enough. This promotion is not enough. So, for example, if I drag it here,
channel.
Promotion type.
Promotion type. Now you see this explained by. Do you see that explained by? What do you think is doing here?
Yeah.
What do you think is doing here?
Dissecting the sales information into the different.
Yeah. So what is happening at this back end here? What do you think is happening? What do you think is doing here? What do you think is happening here?
It's basically analyzing the data to see if there's a relationship that can.
This is regression that is running at the back end for you.
Oh yeah.
This is a regression that is running at the back end for you. Okay, so it's a regression that is running at the back end for you. Okay, so most time you can just pick your, what do you call it now? Okay, so I've taken sales category, product, sales products. Okay, let's say brands. Let me take brand there. Let's say, okay, the sales state. Okay, that's fine. So it's asking, for example, what will influence cost to increase? But if I say what will influence cost to decrease, do you see that? It will now identify those aspects of what. So the way you think, the way you model it, your normal regression, it's the same way you think about the data and also model it here. Okay, so it all depends on your what objectives. It all depends on your what objectives. So if you want to go further, I think maybe we'll look for other data sets again we can also use. Okay, so it will now break everything down for you in a lower this thing. Anyways, but we'll see.
Can we put a live?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So this key influencer. So key influencer is just looking at what is the major factor or the major category that is driving either your sales or your cost. For your sales, you expect it to go up. So what are the factors that will make our sales go up? So if it's cost, you are looking at what are the factors that will make our cost go down. Okay, so you must be able to provide that data to do that. Then you have another one, your decomposition tree. So the composition tree, just how do I break them further? So they say almost the same way, but you must just be looking at how, so what are the factors? So if I want to analyze my, let's say, cost of sales data, okay, explained by, let's say, quantity, units. So if I open it further by high value, it will now further break it down. So this is what they call your composition.
How did you open?
You just see the plus sign there. You see the plus sign. So let me bring it out again. So this is the cost of sale. This is the total value. Okay, this is your total value. So if I bring in maybe like let me bring in, let's say order ID, explain by order ID. So if I click this plus sign, can you see that high value? If I want to see high value, it will show me that. If I want to bring it down by, bring it out this way. But this value does not make so much sense. So that's why. So let me use maybe sales channel. Let me see if sales channel will work for it. Explain.
Hello, Francis.
Yes. Yeah.
Please, I'm lost. My internet got cut out. So
Don't worry. We are going to go. I'm just going around first. I'm just going around.
yeah. I want to know what kind of chart is this, because it's
okay.
different.
This is called the decomposition chart.
Okay, composition. Okay.
Can you see it? Decomposition tree chart.
Okay, decomposition. Okay.
Yes, decomposition. So look at it now. So look at here. So can you see
like
my
breaks
cost
things
of
down.
sales? My cost of sales.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to analyze it by, let's look at, okay, when I use channel name, so I explained it by channel name. Okay, so when I break it down, so if I say high, so the high channel names, okay, so can you see store, online, retailer, mobile outlets? Okay, so whenever you see a light there, okay, can you see that?
Yes.
So when you see light, most light, that light means it can show you an insight there. That means you can break it down further. But if you don't see that light there, you can't break it like this. You won't be able to break it this way for you. So that's your decomposition
Can you
chart.
further decompose?
Yes, you can, as long as
Yeah,
you're
you
adding
decompose
factors,
it.
as long as you keep adding different factors, it will keep breaking them for you. It will keep breaking them for you. Then in the, so this is where AI now comes in. So this is where your AI comes in. So you know AI is just like, so anything I want to do in this data, I will just type my question. Somebody was asking, what question did you ask? Most active channel. So I'll just type most active channel. So most active channel. So most active channel. So it's 4. So that answer that question for me. Let me see. Which state sales are we selling more? So which are we selling most? Let me see. Okay, let me see if let me put switch data now. Let me bring in my sales data. Let me bring my sales data by, okay, states. Let's say states. Okay, I already have something like that now. Let me see. So try one of these and get, so unit costs. How many manufacturers are there? So states by cost of sales.
Color. Let me color first.
Yeah. So if you arrange it, so as you are typing the question, okay, so instead of you dragging and dropping, you can use the AI there. Okay, let me see. Most profitable, but do I have profit here? No. Most profitable. It doesn't have any profit there. That's why I cannot see profit. Most sales channel, okay, or most sales channel or channel name 4. Okay, that's channel 4. So if I bring that my channel name, so let me bring my channel name there. This channel key, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let me bring in my cost of sales there.
Only for some.
Is it on the sum? Anyways, I was trying to check, but most time when you ask the questions here, so when you type whatever question here, as long as the data is there, but this is suggested questions already that you can already analyze. So how many manufacturers are there? Okay, so these are the AI composition in your Power BI. So rather than you dragging and you can just ask questions immediately. So that is the AI. The AI there. Then here you have the ArcGIS map. So in your previous versions, you didn't have this. Okay. So there's now another visual for maps. Okay, but this one you have to be registered on their web. So that why you have to sign it. But this is for map also. So what these people are using, NCDC. If you go to NCDC website, when you go to their dashboard, you will see this ESRI. This is what they are using to do that their map. So if you go to their website, this is the technology that they are using for their map. But most times it's Binge that is the default. Okay, but now they are trying to incorporate this ArcGIS because this is more. This is like actually, this is more accurate most times than even
Of course, I saw that.
the other one can give you the area where it is.
When I
But this
reply,
one will
like,
give you pinpoint.
I'll call her. I'll just call. She picks fine. She doesn't.
All right.
Just basically ask her if any of them had speech delay and all that, and what to expect. Stuff.
Abu, are you asking us a question?
Oh, sorry, sorry.
Okay. All right, so these are basic things we can look in the chat. Then this is your Power Apps. Okay, so remember in the Power Platform, you have your Power BI. Okay, you have your Power BI, Power Visual Agents, Power Automates. Okay, and is it Power Bot also? There's a third one. I'm always forgetting the name. So in your Power Apps too, you can also integrate it here. So this is one of the new features that they have added to it. Okay, so these are the new features they have added to it. Now, whenever you are dealing with your visuals, okay, whenever you are dealing with your visuals, so when you are dealing with your visuals, so let me pick the first one. Let me pick a first one. So if I want to pick, let me pick short one so that we can easily get how it works. Okay, let's say channel name. So let's say channel name by what now? Cost of sales. Now, if I come to this, my data, let's look at this, my data, my sales data. My sales data. Can you see this, your sales data? Normally, we're expected to have revenue. How do you get revenue? How do we get revenue?
Price times quantity.
Yeah?
Price times quantity.
Yeah, so you're supposed to get price times quantity, okay? So I have to now create a new column. Okay, now this is what will lead us to what they call DAX. So if I write revenue here, equal to what? Price, is it not? Price times what? Order quantity, right? Is it order quantity? Or unit, which of them? If I was to get revenue, which one will I use?
Order quantity.
Yeah?
Order quantity.
Order quantity, okay, so that's it. Do you see that? So it has done the calculation for you. So what we have written here is what they call DAX. Do you see that? It's called data analysis expressions. So sometimes the insight you are going to get, you may not get it from your data in itself. So it means you have to now do some other computations. So I'm sure that what we'll do that next class, DAX or two classes, DAX and measures. Okay. So if I want to calculate the revenue, this is how I calculate the revenue. If I want to calculate profit, how will I calculate profit? How will I calculate profit? Yeah?
Revenue minus cost of sales.
So I will now add another column again. Okay. And call it what? Profit. So how will I get profit? Revenue
Minus cost of sales.
Minus what?
Cost of sales.
Cost of sales, exactly. Cost of sales. You see that? Then you can now maybe so have you seen how this has worked now? So the data must be there for you to work with. So where the data is not in this table, then you now use what they call a measure. But I'm not going into measures today. So I want to just show you how to calculate, just in case you see you don't have revenue. You have to calculate the revenue. Okay, so this is how you calculate what the revenue. So if I go back to my visual now,
I didn't see how you got the revenue.
you said what? Hello. Hello.
I think he didn't see how we got the revenue. He didn't understand how we got the
You
revenue.
didn't understand. Okay, so what I have done, I first of all clicked new column. Can you see that new column? So what is the column name? So let's call this column name. Let me call it cost. Let me say cost. Okay. How will I get cost? If I want to get cost, how will I get cost? Yeah, who was asking a question? How will I get cost? I want to create another column now. So for cost, how will you get cost? It will be unit cost, right? Unit cost multiplied by what?
The quantity.
Yes.
Other quantity.
Other quantity. So that is how this cost of sale was arrived at. So in the same way with my revenue, how do I get revenue? It is what? Revenue equal to, if it was Excel, you'd have just written equal to, then you work with this. Now, please take note, the difference here is that Excel work with sales, okay? But in Power BI, we work with what? Columns. Do you see the difference? Here we work with columns, not cells. We work with what? Columns. Okay. So here it will be what? Price, the column price times what? Other what? Quantity. So that's how we got revenue. To get profit, how do we get profit? Profit, you type profit is equal to revenue minus what? Cost of sales. Okay, then we run that. Now I don't need this cost here, so I can remove it here. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Your line is breaking. Yes, sir.
Sorry, because when I tried to type price,
you said?
Okay.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you type it? Can you type it on the chat? I can't hear you. Your line is breaking.
Francis.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, because when I tried to type price, I don't really get this.
Hey, your line is breaking. Your line is breaking. I can't hear you very well. Your line is breaking. Please type it on the chat. Your line is breaking. I can't hear you well. Please type on the chat. Your line is breaking. I can't hear you very well. All right. So basically, that's what. So if I was to put the channel name, so if I want to know the most profitable channel, then I'll go and pick my profit and put there. Do you see that? So now I know my most profitable channel. So which is the most profitable channel? Yeah.
Store.
Your store. Okay. All right. Your store. And the least profitable channel is what?
Mobile outlet.
So the question now is that why is mobile outlet the least profitable? Now let's look at another thing again. Let's look at another thing again. Now this was profit, right? This was for profit. Okay. Now let's take another situation again. So let's say our sales channel. Let's say our sales channel, okay, by revenue. And let's see the visual here. So does this still follow? Is it consistent? Then let's see by cost. Sorry. By cost. So let me take my channel name. So it's consistent, right?
Yeah.
It's consistent. Okay, so now sometimes you may realize that, okay, let's see region. Let's see if we can work with regions. Let's look at region. Let's look at region. Let's look at region. The person wanted to ask me a question. Has he typed the question now? I can't see the question on the chat.
Can you hear me now, Dr.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
So I was having issues trying to get my revenue column because I added the column, changed the name to revenue. But how you now got it to that is price multiplied by quantity. If I type price, it doesn't.
So look at now. Look at revenue. So new column, right? New column. Okay. So I just clicked here. I changed here to, let's say, revenue. Let me call it revenue 2. Okay. And I typed price.
1 minute though. Let me just do this also. Well, how did you even get the new column? Are you at home?
Look at it here now. Click new column. New column.
No, so what's table tools? Well, I don't see that column, so.
You don't see the columns.
I see home. Yeah, I can see your file, home. I don't see table tools. Oh, I need to go back to, BI, Power BI.
Look at now. Look at. Can you see your table? This is your.
I have to go to data first, right?
Yes, no.
See it. New column. Yes.
Exactly, the new column. Okay. So when we get to DAX, that's when we actually focus on all these things. When we get to DAX.
Yeah.
When we get to DAX, that's when we now start all these things. So the person was asking, are you okay now? Yeah? Okay. All right, that's fine. So let's look at, maybe let me take revenue here. Okay, let me do a visual. So let me do the same thing for my states. So sales states, so maybe by region. And let me take my, so this first one was revenues. Let me take profit. It looks consistent. Then let me, assume I now pick my sales, cost of sales. Let me drop profit there. So both of them, so it's showing that irrespective of this thing, still follows the same pattern, right? still follows the same mode pattern. So if I want to bring the two of them into one, so can you see, when I'm just checking individually, I can just use this chart. Where's the chart now? I can use this chart, okay? But if I want to bring in another variable to it, okay, so just like I have my revenue, so this is my cost of sales. So if I want to bring in my revenue along with it, then I can just drag my revenue and add it on my values. Can you see that? So can you see what it's showing me here? So it's showing me revenue by what cost. So if I want to drag it up, I'll move it up a little bit. So can you see how it has switched?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dr. Francis, when you worked out the revenue, did you use the multiplication function? I couldn't find that one. I just
times now, times shift star now. The way you do it in Excel now.
Star. Okay. I need to give me space.
You see that? So in case I want to bring, let's say, what again? So we have revenue, cost, and profit. So let me add profit to it. So can you see that? So I have revenue, cost, and profits. Can we see that? Are we clear? Are you clear with this? How you can do your multiple charts there? So in case you want it, so this is what they call the clustered column charts. Here is what they call clustered bar chart. So you put it the other way around. So this is the bar, and this is what column. Okay. But in case you want to see like compositions, for example, you want to see how, let me break it down like this for you. Let me see, okay, how can I break this one now? Okay, can you see this? Can you see this your data here? So if I want to duplicate it, I can just copy this, copy visual. Okay, can you see copy visual? I can paste it here.
You can duplicate the chart, eh?
Yeah, I can duplicate it and paste it here.
Can you copy to another page? A page to a page?
Another page, yeah, I can click to another page and paste it here.
Okay.
But I cannot take it and go and paste it. Let me see if I paste it in Word. You see, if I paste it in Word, it will not come up in Word. But it will only work here. So let's look at this. So these are different listings, okay? So let me break it down by zone. So if I want to take it by zone, then I have to take it to legend. Can you see your legend? Can you see legends?
Yeah.
So that means you don't further break my store alone into the different zones. Can you see that? Okay, you can break it into different zones. Let me look at another one again. So if I take I want to use smaller data so that we can see how it works. So if I take my channel name here by, let's say, let me say, okay, let me say revenue. Okay, so this revenue now, I want to further break it down by sales promotion. So let me say promotion name and take it here. So can you see what has done? But this data is too large for it. So let me look for a smaller one that will make more sense. This one. Can you see this one? So this is store. From this store, now I want to now break it further into promotion type, whether there's no discount or there's discount. Do you understand that? Did you get this?
So, sorry.
Yes, we do.
I need to understand this one again.
Okay, look at it. I'll draw it again. So sales channel, can you see your sales channel? So your channel
Yes.
is by your revenue, right? By revenue. Okay, so put the chart there, right? So you have this like this.
You're using, okay, yeah. Yes, then you want to
Revenue
break
by
it
sales
down.
channel, okay? So if so I want to now see what is the ratio of or the composition of our promotion. Okay, so promotion type. So I'll now take it and drop it in the legend. Do you see that? So now it has now broken each of them for us. So which is now showing that what accounts for. So here is now breaking it into. So how many do we have here?
2.
So everything to break it into 2. So just like showing us the composition of each of them.
Can you use this chart for a comparison? Like if you are
also used for comparison within.
No, this is for within one unit, right?
Within
So let's
one,
say,
yes.
so
if
for
I want to
within
switch
one,
this way,
assuming I have 2 product categories.
2 product categories.
For instance, right? So, and I want to see discount and no discount for this product versus discount and no discount for the other product. In the same chart, yeah. That's
So in the same chart, right? So in the same chart, if I want to add more charts to it, then I have to come to my clusters. Let me see. So what you're now asking, so let me see. So we have, so we're talking about products, right?
So now I have store, right? And I can see what is discount and what is out of discount for a particular product.
So you have, let's say, products. Let me see, product name. These products are quite, let's say, brands. Will that work? Okay, I think it should still be the same thing because it has recognized all of them. So what you want to now add is maybe like, let me see if I add brand to it now. Okay, but you see, in this case, it can only work with one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch it to my clusters.
Yeah.
So I have to remove this from here and take my legends. Let me see.
Yeah, then it won't stack up again.
It won't stack up again, yeah.
Yeah.
So something like this. Let's now break it down further for you. So you can now check, this is this product, this is this product, or this brand, this brand, this brand, this brand. Okay, so in the store, which brand is this? Okay, this is Fabricam. Okay. So in this one, which one sells the most? Fabricam, and so this is 2290. This is how much. So this is still the one that sells the most. In this one, so you see, when you start using these visuals like this, so these are how you now get different insights, which your normal table will not just show you. Okay, and even if you want to break it further, that's why we want to learn how to use DAX to now break the matrix further down, to now get deeper insights to answer some questions. Because some questions you can answer them by just using the visuals, okay? Because the data are available. But some the data they are not available, you have to now generate them. Okay, so that's how you work with your clustered charts. You have your clustered bar or charts. Okay. Now, when you want to edit your charts, okay, when you want to edit your chart. So, for example, I explained that if I was looking at maybe my line, let me use this one. So let's say line charts. Okay, so can you see this your line charts? So when I put a chart here, can you see this chart? For example, I pick the line chart. I just click on line chart. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's the visual for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you want to create, you know your axis, right? You know your axis. You know in the line chart,
Yeah.
you have x-axis, y-axis. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, your axis most times is your this axis you are seeing here is mostly your x-axis. So what do you think should be on your x-axis? So let's assume we have so if you want to plot my date over time, where will dates be? Is it on x-axis or y-axis?
X.
X-axis, right? So I'm going to pick my dates. So other date, right? I'm going to put it under what? Axis. Okay, under what?
What axis did you put it? You put it on
Can I see axis here?
Yeah, axis, other dates.
Axis means what? X-axis.
That's what it means.
Yes, so I will take my date and drop it under what? X-axis. Are we clear with that?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, are we getting this? Yeah? Did we get this?
Yes.
All right. So remember that in your, you know your power pivot. Do you remember power pivot in Excel? In power pivot in Excel, this is what it's doing. It will not break it down. So what do I want to see by? Is it by year, by quarter, by month, by day? Okay. So if I want to see it by day, then I will just leave it by day there. Okay. Then I will now
this
take
is because you have a date. This is because you have a date data.
Yeah.
You didn't
I will
have,
now take, yes, I will now take my revenue and put it under what? Values. Can you see that? Did you get that? I'll do another one again. So if I take my other dates here and drop it here, okay? Can you see what has done for me? Let me take it by year. So let me take year. So I will remove quarter, I will remove month, I will remove date. So I only have year. So let me now take revenue and drop in what? Values. So that your values is like your Y. Okay? That your values is like your what? Y. Is your Y axis. While your axis is your what? X axis.
Can't you plot two of them in one chart? Let's say revenue and profit and sales, or revenue and profit or something.
Yeah, you can do that now. So if I want to do that, I want to add
like
revenue.
in the upper chart. Yeah.
So here, no, here I'll show you here that I was plotting just by day. Here I'm plotting by year.
Okay.
That's what I was just trying to show. But if I want to add my profit to it, if I add profit to values here, so can you see now profit by?
Okay. Then it plots. Yeah.
But if I take it to legend is like if I want to further break it down. But it doesn't make sense in this place here. So I can take that. Okay. So the point I'm just trying to show you guys here. So any visual you want to work with. So if I pick a visual here, if you don't understand what to do in the visual, come here, look at here. Can you see the visual? Can you see your x-axis? Your x-axis will take either dates or your categorical variable. Or your category. That's what we come there. Okay. So that's why if I'm going to sales channel, if I want to pick sales channel, I'll take channel name and put it under what? My axis. Okay. Then the values. So what's the value? Let's say profit. I'll take profit and put it under what? Values. You get that? Did we get that? So if I want to further break this my table into smaller bits, then I will take it to where? Where will I put it? So if I want to show by maybe promotion,
Legend.
I'll take it to what
Legend.
legend exactly. I'll take it to what legend. Because sometimes it can be confusing. What is different between axis, legend, the values? So you be clear. So that's why most time I always help you to differentiate categorical variables from numeric variables. Okay. Did we get that? Did we get that?
Yes, Dr. Francis.
All right. So that's for that. So if in case you want to switch it, you can always switch that. You can always switch that the way you want. So you see, that's the thing. No matter the chart you will plot, you must see values there, but does it make sense? So does it make sense like this to put a line chart for these categorical variables? Okay.
I don't think so.
So that's the thing. Okay, so that's one. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is that, so as long as you want to pick the data, you can easily just pick, and you switch them there, okay? But sometimes we want to edit the data. Sorry, we want to edit these charts like this. So for example, if I want to edit this chart, so can you see at this point here, can you see this place? You see my, where I have here, right, like this, what I have here is called your what? Your fields. Okay, can you see this place? You have fields. What can you see here? What do you see? Format. And what do you see here?
Analytics.
Analytics. Okay, so by default, you're always on your field. So this is your field, for example, channel name, that's your channel name. Promotion type, that's your promotion type, somewhere there. Okay, values, profit. So profit should be somewhere here. So where anywhere you see this tick, can you see this tick? Can you see this tick? Can you see this tick? It means that is where you're picking your data from. Did you get that? So this tick shows I got this data from there, I got a data from here, and I got a data from here. Okay. So anytime I want to format it, I will now come here to format. I will now come to what? Format. Okay. I will come to what? Format. Can you see your general? In case there's any, so in case you want to do something, so for example, you don't know, you want to change the font size, right? Maybe it's too small. The font size is too small. If you don't know where to look for, otherwise you'll be going down. You have to click this to break them down. Break them down. You have to break them down. So in case you don't know where to go, just type on top here, just say font. It will break all the fonts out for you. Then you scroll and check where do you have fonts. So if this is the font size I want to break, I'll increase the font size. Okay. But you see, this font size is for your headings. If I type here text, now you see text now, it has brought another one for me. So which text is this? Title text. Text size. Look at, if I increase this size, this is increasing the tooltip, but this is not what we're working with. What we are working now is look at text size now. Can you see how it has increased the font size now?
Yeah.
So in case you need to increase that size, that is where you go. Font to what size. Okay. In case you want to change title, can you see title text? Profit by name by. So if I want to change the name, what name do you want to put there? So if I want to customize the chart name, what name do you want to put there? Let's say discount by sales. So can you see it has changed there?
So the FX beside it, what does it stand for?
You said what?
The FX box beside the discount by sales.
This is like a function. You know, in the, what they call it? You know, in the Excel, you have what they call conditional formats.
Okay.
So this is like the conditional format where you want to
make it
color. So you can change the title there, okay? In case you want to change color, so you put color there. Okay. Now, can you see this color? Now, this color like this should be your, I think should be your text, right? So if you come down, can you see now data color? What I want to change is data color. So for example, where no discount, I want to make it red. Maybe the red I need is not this particular red. Can you see this red? It's not this red I want, okay? So what I can do again, I can come to custom color. They pick this red. So can you see how it has changed now? So the same way with my discount sale. So if I want to switch the color, maybe I want it to be green. I don't have green there, then I can come and look for the particular green I need. But if you know the number, if you know the exact number, if you go to if you type on Google the color code, it will bring the different number for you, so you can type whatever number that you want there. So can you see as I'm typing the number there, can you see the color is also changing? Do you notice that? So if I put 782, the color will come out there. So you can easily customize your color codes there. Okay. Otherwise, you just go to your custom color. If you see a particular color you like, you just pick it and you are done. Okay. Now you see this promotion type. If you don't want this legend to show there, okay. So when you come to legend, so you have legend there, right? You have your legend. So most time we want to remove the legends. So can you see your legend here? So if you say off, can you see there's no legend there again? You want to put it back on. So the point here is that everything you want to edit inside your chart, you come to where? Your formats. Okay, so data labels, if you want to put it on, you can put it on so that the data can show. But since I can't see it there, then I can go and switch the color, right? Let's say to black or something. So that's why you have to be careful with the colors that you choose. So make sure your colors is something that you can watch, that you can view. So can you see how I can arrange my orientation? Okay. So in case I still want to increase the size, then I can further increase the font size. You see, like this color is not good for the visual, okay? So I have to switch to a color that will make sense. So which color can we put? So which color do you want to put? Blue. Now, in case you don't want to format it this way, another thing you can do again, come to your view. Can you see your view? Come to your view tab. Can you see your view tab? Your view. Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, we are. Yes, sir.
Right. So you can now switch them, your teams. You can now switch them. Okay. Now, because this is already customized, so that's why this is not changing. Okay. So if I had picked a new, maybe a new visual here, so let's assume I pick my, what do I have here? Let me put in table, okay? So I'll see what I have here. So that's product key, that's not what I want. Product category, yes, so that's product category, okay? So I pick by revenue, so I want to pick my revenue. Revenue, so I drop my revenue there. Okay, my revenue there. Let me just pick another one quickly. Let me say sales channel, channel name. Let me pick by profit. So let's say profit. Let me pick profit. All right. Now you see, for example, this total, it may not make sense to me. I may not need this total. Okay. So if I don't need this total, what can I do? I can remove this total, right? Can you see the total here? Can you see this?
Yes, we can.
So what I can do here?
Yes, we can.
I'll come to my format. Format. Can you see your format? Can you see total here?
Yes.
So I come to format total and put it off. Same thing I can do here. Come here, total off. There's no longer there again. So here I can put my bar charts. So this is my bar chart. Then this is like my, let me put it form of a do not charts. Okay, let me pick one more. Let me say region or zones. Let me pick zones. Let me take let's say cost of sales. Okay, let's say cost of sales, and let me put it this way. Anyways, let's just assume this is what we are working with first. Okay, so in case you don't want to start changing all these colors, okay, you come to this your view. Okay, you have the different color schemes. So this is the one we are working with. This is the current one, classic. So you can switch it this way. Can you see that? So as I'm clicking, then they're switching, switching. Okay. So if I come down there, you can now pick the different themes that you want. Okay, so if I want a darker theme, I can put a darker theme there. If I want a lighter theme, I can put a lighter theme there. Okay. Then in case I now need to start customizing the colors, then that's when I can now come in here. Can you see data color? Can you see data color?
Yes, you can.
Yes, we can, Dr. Francis.
If I switch it here, can you see show all? Can you see data color?
Yes.
Show all, I put it on. Okay. So this is the default color. So I want to change maybe northwest, let's say to, let's say green. So I want to change another one. Or for example, if that's all, so this, which one is the smallest one? This one was a FCT, right? So I come to FCT. FCT, I want to keep FCT as red. Okay. Or if maybe South was one of another listing of interest, then I can now put it on that color, a darker color to particular. So you see those colors already, they're already telling you something's happening there. You get that? So that's why I say, first of all, it must be understandable. So once somebody just looks at the color, at least you should have an idea what's happening there. You see FCT is the list, okay? What does that indicate to you? What does that indicate to you?
That probably FCT might be a new zone, or probably the product is not just doing well there, and I might need to increase my promotion.
By looking at it, does that not tell you that there should be an action that should be taken?
Yes.
Already, so we said it must be understandable and should be actionable. So by just looking at it on its own, you should tell what happened. Okay. So this is how you can easily edit them. So for example, let me show you another thing again. Stuff again. Okay, let me use slicers. Let me show you slicers. So let me get it by states. Okay, this region. Okay, let me pick another one. Promotion. Let's say promotion name. Let's say promotion by. So how do you want to see promotion? Promotion and sales. Let's say my sales data. Okay, let's see my sales data. Revenue. Where's my revenue? Okay, this is my revenue data. So in case I need to swap it, okay. So this is what I have here. So if I put the chart here, regular promotion, okay. So regular sales, Ramadan promotion. So those who are in sales, what does this mean? Yeah, what does this mean? Let me remove this one. Let me put this here.
It indicates Ramadan promotion gave us the highest
no, this
revenue.
This one is regular. This is regular. Ramadan.
Regular sales.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, so that's fine.
Yeah, regular sales. Yeah, just tells you which promotion is more
Okay.
effective, basically.
So this is
That's what-
overall, isn't it? This is what data is telling overall, right? For the whole organization, isn't it? So what you can do, you can further
That's
break.
what regular sales.
Yeah. So you can further break it down. So let me bring it down. So what I want to bring what they call a slicer. Okay. So I want to slice it by what now? I want to slice it. What do you want to see it by?
Region.
By products, by what? What do you want to see it by?
By region.
By region. Okay. So I want to break it by region. So let me take my zone there and drop it there. So can you see my region? So if I take FCT, okay, so that one shows which is the, so still regular sales, Northeast. So they are not, so there's not much difference in them. Or still regular sales in all of them, okay? But the point is that you can still further drill them down. Okay, so if I switch just this now, I'll switch, let me take another color.
Let's pick Southeast first. Let's see what we'll get.
Let's fix what?
Southeast, because I'm not expecting Ramadan sales to drive sales in. It's still the same thing, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, but when you want to start asking questions on the different regions, now these are different questions you can ask. So what we can do here, we can also break it down, we can put it in form of a list, a drop down rather, a drop down. Can you see the drop down form like this? So if I click on it now, I can now switch whatever I want, and that's it. So I can pick another one again. Let me pick another one by what again? So we have, so let me say sales channel. So this sales channel, right? Okay, so let me slice it by sales channel. So the same way, I will drop down. Okay, let me pick by store. Okay, by store. So you see now, you can start breaking them down by each of the different criteria that you want to check. So I can check by online, and I can check by what now? Maybe by FCT.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah, hello.
Where is the slice button?
Look at it here. Can you see your slicer here? Where you have your KPI, can you see your slicer here? Do you see that?
Yes, I've seen it. Thank you.
All right. Another thing again we can do. So if you look at that slicer right now, okay, if you look at this slicer, let me click on the slicer. Okay, I want to slice it by, let's say, channel name. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch it to, okay, let me leave it as a list. Okay, if I leave it as a list, come here. If I want to format it further, let me come to my properties, my formats. Let me come to my format. Then you can further break it down whatever way you like. Okay, whatever way you like, you will still want to break it down. If I switch it to, let's say, this list, okay, if I switch it to drop down, okay, and I put my format. So can you see your general here? Oh, this one will not show. Okay, let me switch it back to my drop down. Okay, this is my list. Okay, so what I want to show you here is that you can also switch it to what they call horizontal. So if I want to switch it like this is also a slicer. So sometimes you can also see your visuals like this. So if I click here, online, if I click here, reseller, if I click here, you see that? Did you get that?
No, can you take that?
Yeah, I'll do it again. So watch again. So you know this is your normal slicer. So I have picked maybe, let's say sales channel. Let me take channel name and drop it here. Okay. So take note that this is already in form of what? A list, right? This is in form of a list. Okay. So you have to first make sure that this is in form of a list. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I will go to my format. So go to your general. Can you see your general? General. Look at the orientation.
Yes.
Can you see your orientation? This is vertical, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll switch it to what? Horizontal. And I can now start clicking.
Okay.
And that's how your whole chart will start switching. Okay, that's how your whole chart will start switching. Then we can also do something else. So for example, so if I want to put in, in Excel, when you want to type, so you can also create like your chat box. You can also create chat box and just create a name. What name can we call it? Maybe sales report for maybe 2020. I don't know, whatever sales report here. So since this is a chat box now, so I need to increase the size. So where are we now? So if I highlight that, so I'll come here, let's say 40. So sales report, okay, for 2020. So if I want to switch the color, whatever color I want to put there. So you need to highlight it first so that it will do the text that you're working on. So let me switch the color. Let's see, blue. Is that blue or red? Sorry. Okay, so that's the color. So in case you want to change the font type. Okay. So the same way you work in Excel, that's the same way you also do this here. Okay, so your sales report. Then, for instance, maybe you want to put an image. Let me pick an image. So let's say, for example, you can just go to, if you have your company image or logo. So let's pick for example LBS. If I want to pick LBS image, so I just go to Google, okay, and download whatever image you have there. Okay, so normally you just save the image. So let me look for an image. So let me say LBS logo. So let me switch so if I come to import image, okay, so let me go to my desktop. I have image there. Yes, I have image there. Okay, so I have my image there. So whatever image you have there, you can always put it there and that's okay. So for 2020, then you start adjusting the data and
Well, Dr. Francis, something like these slides are right.
yes.
When we then publish this type of report, so a PDF or two for a presentation, how will this slides remain interactive? Or how do we then present this? Can we project this as a slide?
That's why on the service or your mobile. That's why when you design it for the service or your mobile, it is active. But the moment you take it to a PDF, there's no way it can work now. You understand?
Now I'm wondering, how do we present this? If you're presenting this to say, not just sending it as a report to one person, you want to project it, present it to a group. So how then do you make this?
So that's the difference between a report from a dashboard.
Okay.
A dashboard is just a one-pager, just one page.
Yeah.
You're not going to be clicking anything. Any summary you want to do, you're not clicking anything. It's just one page. That's the dashboard. But when you are not being interactive to start drilling down and getting your insight, that is the report.
Okay.
You get that? So whenever you want
to... I stepped out. 1 minute. How did you bring in the Lagos Business School?
You said what?
Logo, how did you bring in the logo?
Do you have any logo or any picture there?
No, but I just want to know.
If you have any picture now, okay, for example, go to Google, type LBS, and then switch it to image. So you can see a logo there.
Yes.
So once you have done that, you just right click and save as image. Save as image.
Yes.
Desktop. Okay, so once you have saved that image on your desktop, then just come here to image, desktop, then switch it there.
Sorry, where did you go to? You click on
image now. So once you are on image now, you go to your desktop now.
Where is image again? Sorry, on this Power BI.
On Power BI, look at insert.
Oh, insert image. I've seen it. Thank you.
The image. Yeah, that's.
Can you put a text? Like if I want to put a few 1 or 2 lines to explain this chart.
Where do you want to put the text? Any text you want to put now, the same way now, just put text box now and type whatever you want.
Okay, text box.
Source.
Fantastic.
Analyst. You see some reports where they now write analyst. They now write the person's name.
So I understand.
You put your email address, put your name and the rest. Okay. Okay, yes. That's it. Okay, so Abu, so you understand why it's only when you are doing a report, that's the only time it has to be interactive. And this only happens when it's on the web. So everybody can easily just click and see what you are talking about. Okay. But if you just want a one-page report, then that is a dashboard.
Yeah.
So in that case, any insight you want to get, you just extract that out and just present it. So nobody has to be clicking any other thing. Okay. The only thing again you can do, if in case you need to take it to your PowerPoint. So PowerPoint, I think your PowerPoint has let me see, insert. PowerPoint, if you go to your add-ins, in your PowerPoint, if you go to your add-ins, you have your Power BI. Okay.
Yeah.
Your PowerPoint, you also have what your Power BI. But because they are still working on it, so I think you may not really see the way the thing appears. Doesn't look very presentable. Let me see it. For example, don't have any PowerPoint. Let me open this PowerPoint. Just open any PowerPoint. Just open any PowerPoint. Okay, let me open this PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So open your PowerPoint. So let me open this PowerPoint here. Okay. So can you see this PowerPoint here?
Yeah.
So if I come here to insert, right? Insert. Come to get add-ins. Can you see get add-ins?
Yeah.
Get add-ins. Type Power BI there. Yes, look at it here already. Power BI tiles. So add. Continue. All right. So this is your Power
BI. Insert, get add-ins. Okay.
So you see add Power BI. Can you see that? So this is from the web, and this is from your Power BI file. So if you have your Power BI file, you go and link the Power BI file. But you see, you have to be online. But you see, you have to pay for it. That's the thing. Can you see that?
Yeah.
But this is it, though. But okay, like mine has even expired. Please activate a valid license. Mine has expired already. So this is unlicensed. But this is how you link it. So you can be doing your Power BI presentation inside your PowerPoint.
Okay. No, Frank, what of this Office 365? Is there no way? I'll say this because I once worked.
No, look at now. So look at this now. Okay, let me show you. Because it's loaded, but you will see the visual. Can you see a visual at the back end?
Yes.
So, but because this is not licensed now, so this is not licensed, but this is
because there was a time I worked on a project, right? I once worked on a project, and a it was for a client that had a lot of capital projects on ground, a lot of big projects were around different places in the country. Now, the CEO needed a dashboard that he could monitor progress on all these sites without having to get a report and all that. What their case was, at the end of the week, somebody will send the report, to go through another layer. Before the report is getting to the CEO, is probably another week has passed. So everything just seemed.
So that's the essence of why you need the Power BI service. So can you see can you see this?
Yes. Yes.
So on the go, this
Power
BI.
Who then? Yeah.
Can you see that? This is the Power BI inside PowerPoint.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So this, you have to do it through the web.
So
that's where your Power BI service now comes in. So if you pay for it normally now, it's not spoil your visual looking like this. You can just do it straight. So your Power BI can be linked in this. So whatever you have done on your Power BI desktop, you upload it to the web service, and from the web service you can link it to whatever place. So if, for example, the CEO or the managing director needs to see whatever, so you just give him the link. So he will just have access to that link.
Okay.
You will click it and he'll be looking at whatever he wants to see. You understand?
Okay. So and as they are updating the information in real time from the different sites.
Real time, exactly.
It's going through this.
So as they are doing it, that's the same way he's seeing it real time. So he can be on his phone too. He can still be on his phone and he sees exactly what you're doing. But the only difference is that he cannot start adjusting or editing.
No. That wasn't the objective. It's just for him to get real-time information.
What's happening at this point? Okay, so even there are 10 departments, 10 units, all of them, they all be at this point. So can you see them? So for example, this Ebanos report. So maybe this is another branch. Okay, you can just click that branch and look at a glance what is happening in that branch. You see that?
Yeah, dashboard for that.
This is a BD. So this is a BD Power BI inside PowerPoint.
Yeah.
This doesn't answer your question.
Yes, it does. But now my point is, it's not an ERP in itself. I mean, if we have a way of collecting the data in one source, and it's basically what an ERP is doing, right?
Yeah, but this is a summary of the ERP.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
This is a summary of the ERP.
You know, for SAP, for instance, right? SAP has another package that does this. From the normal SAP that will do, and you have to pay more money to get.
They also have SAP BI.
Yes, SAP BI, yes. Which is a different cost entirely from the SAP itself.
But again,
so most people.
It's not as flexible as this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another challenge that you have. It's not as flexible as this. Okay. So, but that's basically how you just edit and do the rest, okay? So, by next week, so you see this your data set that you guys have, this sales data set. I want you guys to come up with your own reports. Come up with your own reports. Okay? Come up with your own report by next week. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So do whatever magic you want to do. Then we'll present it and look at it.
Okay.
So any other question? Yeah, any question? Observations, comments? All right, so I think that should be all. So just do your own reports and we'll present next week. So you see, Power BI is not very easy for you to work with. Is Power BI not easy to work with?
Yeah, I have another question. Please, one last question. You know what we did? We started with SQL, so we highlighted why SQL is better than Excel. Then we came to Python, what Python does. Now we're in Power BI, and I'm thinking, why do we even need Python when we have this? Right? For what's the essence of Python? We can do everything here. The basic codes in Python, we can do them here. So why do we need
you know one thing,
Python per se?
Why you're looking at it this way is that this is the data we are kind of getting is just like in a flat file, okay? So everything has been cleaned, and there are some data that you cannot just clean it. Even Power Query, I tell you that Power Query sometimes we give up that please this one pass me. Even as deep as you get. So the only solution that you now need is your Python. I will show you maybe after we are done with the visuals and maybe measures, then I will now integrate SQL and Python in Power BI. Then that's when you understand why you need SQL and why you need Python. When we are doing integration, I illustrated the integration why you need your SQL. So you see, when we got our data from the web, we came to web, right? But most time in most organizations, the data is stored in a database.
Yes.
You understand that the data is.
No, I understand SQL. It's not Python now.
Okay, for the Python.
I understand SQL.
So for the Python part, sometimes we may also want to clean the data in Python. Although here it can be easy to clean the data here, but there are some things we may want to do that may not be easy in Power Query. So Python can now come to your rescue. Then if I want to build a machine learning model to now do some predictions, Power BI cannot do that kind of predictions. Then Power BI or R, Python or R will now come and help me with that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because one of the things I learned too on that project was statistics are best when they're, like you also said in class, statistics are best when they are leading, not lagging. And lagging statistics only tells you a picture of the past, but leading is what helps you make decisions proactively.
Try to do in your Power BI. It's more like you are reporting the past.
Yeah, lagging indicators and like.
Okay. But again, based on that, what is the trend going forward?
Yeah.
What's not the trend going forward? Although you can still do some forecasting here too. For example, your line chart, you can also do some forecasting. So can you see this in your analytics? In your line chart, if you click on your analytics, you can also do your forecast. Okay, you can also do your word forecast. So can you see the values there? But it does not bring in the value. But if you check, it will bring the values for you, but it will not tell you, it will not bring it in table form. That's just the only difference. That it will not bring them in table form. It will only just give you the range on which you are forecasting. Okay, so this one doesn't make so much sense. This is where Python now comes in. Okay.
Dr. Francis, one more question. On this particular window that you are showing, on this view graph, the one on the discount table, I think I missed the detail on how you showed the numbers, the stacked plot, how you then brought out the numbers.
These numbers here, right?
Yes.
You know, if you come to your format now, come to your format. So let's go to
under format.
Yes, under your format, right? So that value is what you want to see. These are data labels off.
Okay, thanks. I've seen it. Thank you.
Legend.
Hello, doctor.
Yes, sir.
Please, can I have the sales file? I think I don't have it. I've been looking for it.
Hey, Kabir Jabbar, please can you help us send in the sales file? All right. Any other question? So please, you see all these basic things, how to just drag, drop. You see that Power BI is not a problem, okay? So from next week, we'll now show where problem will now start. So make sure that you know how to draw visuals. So that's why I'm begging. make sure you know how to draw visuals, at least drag, drop, do some customizations, and the rest. Okay, it's quite straightforward. In case you always need to learn it, if you come here to help, come to document. Can you see videos? If you come to your help, can you see your help? Come to your videos. Okay, go to training videos. You have a whole lot of videos there from Power BI itself. So if you come to, so for example, you have your updates. So any new updates there of the visuals. So they will update it for you and tell you. They will tell you. So can you see 2020 updates? What's happening?
We have some exciting new updates in the reporting section. First, we're happy to announce Canvas watermarks. For new Power BI users, it can be difficult to know where to start. Now, when you create a new report, instead of a blank canvas, you'll see some helpful tips guiding you through getting data, creating new visuals, and populating the fields page.
So you see that, so those are the different, so this is from the original listing, Power BI itself. Can you see that? So if I come to Power BI itself, so this is the official Power BI help YouTube file. Okay, so all the updates, as they're updating, you see what is happening there. So they will tell you what new things they have added there. Okay, so that's one way. Another way again is that you also have different training videos too that can also help you on that. Then you have the documentation also. So you also have documentation. Then you just go through it, and so that's just basically what you have to do. So please try and do that, so that because next week we are going to try to complicate already complicated issues. Okay, but I'll also show you some other charts. Okay, I'll try and use different data to show you the other charts. Okay, just like your gauge, your KPI. So I'll show you different data, how to achieve those ones. All right, if there's no other question, I think we're done.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Francis.
All right, no problem. All right, guys, please take care of yourself and be safe.
You too.
You too, sir.
All right, bye.